right, what's up, everybody? We've got a lot of stories for you today. We're going to be talking about the state of microtransactions in the industry with the release of Capcom's Dragon's Dogma 2 and how they don't plan to do anything about it, but it is, in my opinion, ruining the industry. We're going to get into the PSVR 2 from PlayStation. They are putting that on ice and because of their pile up of their stock right now, the stock they have. And then we're going to be talking about Remedy and their continued push to keep their games at their development budgets at a lower cost. And, so they don't have to worry about gouging gamers out whenever they put it out in the market for release. I want to say Alan Wake 2 costs like $60. This is like $10 less than what the industry standard is right now. But we got all that and a lot more sprinkled throughout. Let's get to our panel and welcome to the Couch Consumer live stream. All right, that was a little choppy, but we made it through. And we have Panda here.
How's it going, guys?
He's excited to show up today. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey Panda.
I might be laying in bed while doing this. I'm just joking.
Nice.
I'm joking.
It's like
Nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I wanted to start this out with asking everybody how their week was, but there's a ton of entertainment stuff. Like there's a bunch of live actions coming out, and I've railed against live actions before, but there are a few that I will accept, and that's Gargoyles, live action Gargoyles. I need them to make that. And I saw rumors that they are coming out with a series, live action Gargoyle series, not a movie, but I'm still kind of looking forward to that. And then I've been watching this since like 2 or 3 years ago. A Thundercats movie live action is supposed to be coming out. So my question is, what live action or movie are you looking forward to coming out?
Well, I love Gargoyles and Thundercats, especially I was born in the early 80s because, I'm ancient.
Stop it. I was born in the 80s.
So Thundercats was huge for me when I was really little. And, Transformers and, Gargoyles was my afternoon thing every day. And so I'm super excited to see those. Live action wise, I'm hoping that they'll do as good of a job as they did with the cartoon, or better. So I'm really looking forward to that. I do want to check out Fallout.
Yes,
that one already looks pretty good with the teasing already.
Exactly. So that's one I'm excited for right now because I know it's there. So I'm waiting.
Right on.
What about you, Panda?
Gargoyles actually.
Oh, okay.
What I'm wondering is it going to be a little more adult rated? You know what I mean? A little more. The show already, being a kid's show, it was already a little dark.
Yes.
The setting, everything's set at night. And when they were set during the day, they wore their trench coats and stuff. But I would wonder. That's what my interest is if it would be more of a adult setting. Maybe a little more violent. Because they did fight a lot, maybe a little more like a PG-13 or maybe a rated R Gargoyles kind of series or movie, which would be interesting. Because already, if a design of the Gargoyle was a little more depth, like what they did in the in the cartoon they showed how they look mean as their statues, but when they came to life, they were friendly, but still have that intensity of them. So that's what I want to see. I want to see if it's going to be more towards, we're older now, right? So we assume, they're going to be child based, but who knows? They might, turn it around and make it more of a action or suspense kind of show. I know it was almost like the equivalent of Batman, right? They would go and investigate and go fight crime. That's what I want to see. I want to see if it's going to be something like that. That'd be cool.
Dadgum. Okay, so now that you're saying that, freaking the animated series was geared more towards kids, you know, but it still had that dark
Yes.
kind of feel to it, you know, like you didn't know as a kid. You knew they wouldn't go that far, but it was still, they left some stuff up. It's like, I don't know if he killed that guy or not.
Yes,
You
Yeah.
know?
yes, and that's the thing is like, if it was already like that, imagine if they did a live action where they're like, well, now that people are older, they can assume what they actually did. You know what I mean? Who
Oh yeah.
knows? Maybe the gargoyles were the bad guys, but we thought
No.
they were the good guys. You know?
Oh,
But you know what I mean? It's like it would be something cool like that. You know? It's your basic Venom protagonist, right? He's
Right
good
on.
and bad at the same time.
Right
so.
on. He
Yeah,
was
the
built
anti-hero
to be
piece.
an anti-hero though, but the gargoyles are strictly heroes. You know what I mean? You're gonna ruin my
We don't know that
childhood,
yet.
Panda. What's happening here? What's going on?
But you know what I mean? It's something like that. That would be interesting.
Right on. Yeah.
As long as they don't ruin it too much, I
Mhm.
think they have a baseline of what they can start with.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
perfect, you got it. It's been going. People love it.
Hmm.
Just make it a little better. Don't go too intense. You don't need to go all
Yeah.
out and
Yeah.
ruin a franchise just because you wanted to go live action.
Hmm. And
So
with the way, I'm sorry. Go ahead, gamer.
I was gonna say, so Panda, do you want like Deadpool gargoyles or?
I mean,
Well,
because you already know Deadpool is off the hinge, right? He's already
Yeah.
doing his own thing. But
yeah.
imagine that. Imagine the first episode of Gargoyles. It's I keep forgetting who is she the one that's with them, but imagine the way it starts is like she's so afraid of them because she doesn't know who they are.
Right.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
In the beginning, it's like it's not that they're trying to be friends with her; it's the other way around.
I wanna
They
say
do their
Officer
thing,
Montoya or something like that. Sorry.
and she's
keep going.
like, she's trying to get them back into the right path, or like, hey, we can use your powers for good, or hey, I'm gonna investigate. It's pretty much like the April
Mhm.
O'Neil kind of thing, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Ninja Turtles.
But a little
But-
more adult. She's finding out all these crimes that are going on. Is it because of the gargoyles? Missing
That is-
people.
I like that.
stuff like that. It would be interesting, right?
I do like that. Like she didn't
she's
trust them
trying
at first because
Yeah.
because of the way they look. But I like that idea. Like Kristen Bale's Batman. Maybe take
Yes.
that approach and I mean, can't make it as grounded because you got these
Yeah.
supernatural beings in it, but
And I don't mean
Yeah.
like on something like that. I don't mean you could stretch it out as much as you want, right? You could have a whole first season of her trying to find out who these people are, and then at the very end, you
I like
finally see
that.
how they look like, right? It's like
I like
they're
that.
gonna be gargoyle. It's
Yes.
oh man, there's stuff that goes through my mind sometimes when I'm sleeping, but like you could set it up to where you can make a good series almost like a Dragon Ball series, right? You could stretch it out as much as you can, but still make it good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like that.
season
Oh my
one, she's trying to
goodness.
figure out what's all this. Season two, she finally meets them. Season three, they're finally working together. It's like stuff like that.
You know what? I would love a Spawn series like that too. Like all these murders are popping up and two officers are following the clues and they finally meet Spawn in the second season. I'd be interested in that. I like slow burns sometimes. And I think that's right up my alley, honestly. That's cool.
You just gotta make it worth it. I want to say you gotta
Yeah.
know people are interested. Now these days, a lot of people just want to, not the consumers, but producers are trying to rush to do something just because they know they have a title on their hand.
Yes.
They could easily just take their time on it. Look at Fallout. Fallout's been talked about being a show for years, and finally Amazon pulled the trigger and
Mhm.
started doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and
And-
just based off what I see, it looks interesting.
Yeah. And I can't stand that it's getting the backlash that it's getting. But on the other hand, I'm not a big Fallout proponent. I'm not part of that fan base, so I can't, I don't know. Like I can give Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live action one, I can dog that all day because I'm a huge fan of the cartoon. But
I don't know what
Fallout.
happened to that. It
Mhm.
caught me. I was interested,
Mhm.
but I think it goes back to we grew up with it, right? We
Mhm.
knew what it was. And that's what we're afraid of gargoyles if it happens, right?
Yeah.
You're so into what you saw, what you've seen,
Mhm.
voices. You're so used to what got me was the voices, right?
Yeah.
I was expecting to be closer to the the animation,
Yeah.
so that's what
Mhm.
threw me off. Is I was expecting Prince Zuko to be more of a, tyrant trying to be mad all the time. But when the live action, he was kind of like, oh, I don't see this voice for this guy. And, Uncle Ro, like the same thing. It's like you feel like he's going to have his whole, about his tea and this and that. It's like, oh man, maybe I just expected a little too much than I needed to. But
in my opinion, the live action Iroh, he was probably the best in the series. I didn't connect with Aang because it wasn't great acting coming from him. He it looked like he was reading off a paper,
I think
with the way he was delivering it.
Too young, maybe.
Yes,
I want to say. But the thing is, it makes sense, right? Because he was young in the in the animated series, which is hard, right? If
it is very hard. Yeah,
stick to it. You have to, get the ages close to what the animation is and stuff like that. But you have to assume, these kids are still. I'm not gonna bag on the actor because he's still learning, but that's what people are gonna expect, right? They're gonna expect, Aang was, strong and powerful when he came out, but he just didn't know. And in the live action, it's like, oh, he doesn't even know he's strong and powerful. What the hell? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, man.
He was just a happy-go-lucky kid, and didn't want to be the Avatar. He just wanted to live with his friends. He had friends in all of the nations and everything like that. I did not get that from the live action series. It just didn't feel like the world that I loved. Didn't feel that way. It just didn't feel it.
It felt like something was missing for sure. But
it's
one of those missing that you don't know what it is, but it's there.
Freaking, there's one more. We talked about the Thundercats live action they're coming with. They're doing a team. Hold on, wait. Oh my God. Okay, so I totally forgot about this one too. I keep wanting to call him Anya Taylor-Joy because they have like the same initials, but Aaron Taylor Johnson, he just got named the new James Bond. I think it's a great decision because they can, kind of continue on with, the series, or they could do a prequel because he's so young, So what are we thinking about this? Like, are we excited about this? He surprised the crap out of me in Bullet Train. I thought he was fantastic in it. So I think he does have the chops. He's got the acting chops. I just don't know what they're gonna do with him.
I think it's a really good idea. Like you and I had discussed earlier this week, like what they could be doing is kind of like this reboot where you've got like this younger Bond.
Yeah.
And he can go for more movies, kind of like how they did with Sean Connery.
Yes. Yeah.
But he was already older by then.
Yeah.
And then, they're notorious for switching Bonds. So by the time, it kind of opens up the acting pool, in my opinion, by making him younger.
Yeah.
Or, it, like you said, it could be a prequel. Or they could do something crazy where all of a sudden, like, here comes James Bond Jr., that nobody knew about, which I hope not, because I think
Bond
that
Jr.
Yeah, you never know. I think that would be weird, but I think
Double
I think
seven and a half.
Yeah. 007.5.
Yeah. Who knows how many kids James Bond has out there,
I mean,
he could have a whole squad of James Bonds.
He's had what, like 45 women now, different one each movie. Like
this man. Good Lord.
So he's got like 75.3 children out there. But yeah, I think the whole like kind of revamping reboot type of thing would be a good idea for them, because like I said, they can kind of start fresh. Like, it's instead of picking up from the last movies, you can kind of start anew, and then you have like a bigger acting pool when you can go for longer. With this particular Bond, you can get a whole lot more movies out of them. So we'll just have to wait and see what they do. I'm kind of thinking reboot type way.
Yeah.
So
right on.
I think that's the hard part, is if they try to reboot it, right? They're gonna have to figure out if they want to reboot and go off of the classic movies, or reboot and go off of their own genre. Who knows? Maybe James Bond could be evil now. That would be nice. That'd be cool. You know what I mean?
double agent. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, you had that in GoldenEye, and it went pretty well, right? 006
Yeah.
and 007. And
Hey,
what was it? The whole thing. 006 thought 007 betrayed him and let him die, and it's damn. That was a good movie.
I love it.
Yeah.
I
The
love
fall
it.
of 007. It's maybe something like that, you know?
Yeah. That could go somewhere.
Right
or
on.
we
Oh,
can,
man.
or we can get him like he's a double agent, but he's like also up for sale. Like
Ooh, like a hitman?
yeah, like
Hmm.
hey, I need this diamond, and I also need so and so taken care of, type of thing, while he's in the middle of doing his jobs. For
I mean,
you know,
with this economy now, he would have to get 2 jobs.
I'm saying, man,
And a babysitter on the other side. No, just
yeah, a
I
babysitter for the
think they
75.
made that movie already. Wasn't it with Jackie Chan or Vin Diesel? What was it, The Pacifier or the,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Babysitter?
Oh,
Vin
what?
Diesel.
Yes, yeah. And then
Oh my
Jackie
God.
Chan did one too.
I
Oh
think
my
that
God.
one was called, like,
That was
The
a
Sitter or
trend back in the day. It's like these
Those were good.
spies.
Those were kind of the cheesy, action spy movies that were funny.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Bean made one too, right?
I think he did.
Did he?
Yes.
Right
Yeah,
on.
with
Oh my
The
God.
Rock and
Oh,
the
yeah,
guy from Shaun of the Dead and all those guys.
You know what I want to see? I want to see that meets Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh man.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
how
Hilarious.
funny would that be? Like, I just want to see my kids, and I gotta be a woman, but I'm the spy on the side.
Yes.
too. So,
That works. That does work.
that would be
It's
great.
like him freaking taking people out in the restaurant and then putting his face back on to go be the babysitter for his kids. I like that.
I know.
I like that.
All right, any producers and screenwriters watching this, we get credit and we get some money.
Right on. All right, so microtransactions in gaming. Dragon's Dogma just released, I want to say yesterday, and we had all of these. They got a review bomb because of all the microtransactions in them. And then an article came out and said Capcom responded. They said they acknowledge it and they don't plan to do anything about it. So we got a couple articles that I wanted to look into. And then after that, we'll, discuss a little bit and get into the comments. But we've got a couple articles I want to take a look into. One is describing how gamers are kind of, keeping this thing going for these companies, for these studios. And we'll get into what the actual thing is. And I do have a tweet too from that. But let's get into the first article real quick. All right. So we've got modern gamers are too accepting of overpriced transactions. And I got to say, he's right about that. He goes into basically how it was so much cheaper for microtransactions. I think he referenced he paid like $2 for some kind of cosmetic in a game, and now you're paying 3 times more than that. And then he goes into this one. He said the gaming hobby is becoming more expensive over time with the advent of these $70 games, more expensive hardware, online subscriptions. All of that is correct. I long to see publishers refusing to exploit players for their games. The subscriptions, I totally forgot about that because Ubisoft has theirs. Xbox has theirs. Sony has theirs. It's freaking nuts. And then on top of that, they want you to pay $70 for a game. And then more money for cosmetics and all that. And so he goes into Foam Stars, how certain bundles are $45. Diablo 4 was notorious for that. I remember when that game came out and the reports surrounding the microtransactions came out, it was absolutely insane. And even when their mobile game came out, it was literally play to win. It was literal play to win, and people got mad at that. Still bought it. I think they made a boatload of money off of that because they were going for the whales, and whales showed up for them. Holy crap, man. But he ends this with saying, even if a game is free, I fail to understand how skins worth $60 are justifiable. If anything, these types of purchases only dissuade me, pushing me away from spending money on a game otherwise would have. At the end of the day, we can only blame ourselves. The gaming community has spoken with its wallets, enabling publishers to overcharge obscene amounts for the most basic of skins. But yes, yep.
I 100% agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, all right, so my biggest fun with microtransactions has always been Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh my god, you know, like I'm big on Vikings. I love Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
So when AC Valhalla came out, like I was all over it. But I was like, dude, now they have this mount. It's a reindeer. And then the next day I'm like, oh, we got a polar bear, whatever it is, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, look, it's glowy, you know. And Mortal Kombat 11. I haven't done it with Mortal Kombat 1, but Mortal Kombat 11, I'm just like, oh my gosh, look at these. I can get this, and this. And, you know, you can step on my computer. So I had to go through and make sure my setup was right.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not necessarily for me with those games. It's not fear of missing out because they're not usually limited time.
Right.
Sometimes they are, and then that hits my FOMO, and I'm like, I'll miss it, and I'll never get it again. And so you get a lot of that in Fortnite.
Yeah.
I mean, even if V-Bucks are like $10, like think about it, you're gonna get what, like one whole outfit pack out of that, have a little bit left over, but not quite enough to get the next one. So you got to buy more V-Bucks.
Yeah.
And so gamers are spending way more than the $70 that they would be on games. And because we keep falling for it, they're going to continue. And that's what this guy's talking about.
Yeah.
Before we got, I think this was like a year and a half ago, I was all about Suicide Squad. I was like, this looks like it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to wait and kind of see closer to launch what it's really about. And then they announced that they were going to have microtransactions.
Yeah.
And immediately I said, I will not buy this game, period. And now I'm glad.
Yeah.
Apparently it's
like
pretty
the gameplay
bad.
came out and just solidified that.
But I've literally stopped buying games when I hear that they've got microtransactions, or like I still got MK1, but I was like, I'm not, you know. They took away the crypt, so you can't go through and earn certain things, but you can only get certain things with the in-game currency that you earn, and then the rest of it has to be real life money that you spend to get this amount, and that just, it turns me off so bad.
Yeah.
Because I want to experience more games, not less. And if I'm spending all my money on these microtransactions, I can't.
Right.
And like I was telling you guys before we went live, just to give a frame of reference, 3 years ago, in July of 2021, Activision Blizzard made $1.2 billion on microtransactions alone. So imagine how much they're making now.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not going to give up that money.
No.
But because we keep doing it, it's just going to get worse. You know, the outfits should be there at launch. The weapons should be there at launch. Like, that's one thing I liked about Horizon Forbidden West and Zero Dawn. Like, you had to grind to find these outfits or buy these outfits or unlock them at specific levels. And it was just awesome. And you would get these weapons. With Forbidden West, like, I didn't mind spending $20 on their DLC because it ended up being almost an entire full game. Yeah. You know, and so you're gonna get my sales religiously if the games are like that. If it's microtransactions, not so much.
Right on. And just so, like, with that, I think a nice balance is to, if you want to earn it, make it difficult enough where, you know, people have trouble earning it, and if they want to buy it, let them buy it. I think that is the perfect kind of marriage they need to make. so that
Like-
everybody feels like it's fair, you know. I
kind of
don't-
like what the grind you can do in Assassin's Creed, like you can do
Mhm.
all these special missions and earn these crystals that you need to get all these outfits, but
right.
it takes a while.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to earn it, and
Mhm.
luckily, I don't think I've seen any, you know, limited edition only here for a certain amount of times in that game. So I'm more likely to stay on and spend more time in that game, grinding on that game,
Yeah.
to do that than just shell out money on the wallet.
Right.
So,
And I would
what do
like
you
to
think,
see.
Panda?
Oh yeah, go for it,
sorry.
Panda. Sorry.
No, yeah, and that's the thing is I agree also, right?
Mhm.
I believe microtransactions can be good to an extent, right? You don't have to force it down people's throats.
There you go.
I know prime examples. I know you said like all these other games, but Helldivers is doing it right now too. Is where you could put in 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks to buy, you know, cosmetics, but at the same time, you could do missions and earn that same cosmetic, you know, money through the game. I mean, it's not a lot, you know, it's the grind, but that's what people like, right? They like the grind. They like if you enjoy the game, you're gonna grind it out no matter what. Right?
Yeah.
You're gonna do your missions, you're gonna do your, and most of the time what happens is they find it, right? Oh, look, there's cosmetic money here. So
Dope.
same with Helldivers. They don't do the whole if you lose it or if you don't get it, you lose it. They have their little battle pass that's like maybe 6 tiers, but they've already said like it's gonna be there forever. So if you guys don't have time to get it now, you got plenty of time to get it later. Checked last time, they already have another battle pass on top of that other one. So it's like they're just providing all this more, you know, more addition to the content that you want to get, right? Better guns, better armor. A lot of people are like, oh, it's a pay to win game, but it's not pay to win if you're earning that same, you know, income during the game. So it's pretty much telling you like, get better, kid. You know, you play the game to get better.
Get good.
I'm gonna, you know what I mean? So it's like, and I like it, right? You'll play harder missions to get better money, or you could just be like, oh, I got 20 bucks, might as well just buy the whole pass and get this gun that I want. But at the same time, you know, again, for example, Helldivers, I could have easily dropped like 50 bucks and upgraded all my stuff and gotten a bunch of guns. But, you know, compared to a guy that's level 50 kicking ass and I'm over here with, you know, high rank stuff and I'm still getting my ass kicked, I'm going to get kicked out of this game, you know?
But see, that's the way it should be. Like, you know, with microtransactions, it would be an easier pill to swallow for me if it was something like I could earn stuff too. Yeah. Because that's why I was spending the money on microtransactions in AC Valhalla, because I could still earn doing these side missions and stuff like that. So it made it more palatable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're not, it's not just like you need to pay to earn it, right? You can earn it while you're playing.
Yeah, exactly. And I get, like, with Fortnite, you get season pass and it comes with X amount of V-Bucks and X amount of skins, and then you can earn on top of that. And I'm more likely to buy my kid a season pass and give him the opportunity to earn and get those free V-Bucks and do this than every day him coming to me being like, this new skin this and this new skin that and this new weapon. And, you know, me going, get a job. You know? He's 15 now. He's going to be in a world of hurt next year when he asks me for money for games. So. But, you know, like GTA, like, you know, you can get the shark cards, but you can also, like, with them, at least you can go through and do these missions and get stuff. Or, like, with GTA Online, don't get me started. They made me so mad. Like, I bought my kid the subscription because it seems really good. You get a certain amount of cars, you get a certain amount of this, you get a certain amount of that. And then they've gone on a blocking ban. Like he did a glitch and went ahead and got some outfits and other stuff, and now all of his accounts are banned. And I was like, are you serious? Like 2 days into buying online. And we're not getting that money back.
I was gonna say you might need to blur out my name for this one because I don't want Rockstar to hear. But I might have been in that trend where, you know, you go in and it. So not to advise anybody to do this, but usually when there's an update on Rockstar, there's a lot of firewalls that get brought down,
Yes.
and that's usually when you go in and play the game. And I would say I was part of a group that did a so-called frozen money glitch, and I became a multi-billionaire in a couple hours. And now it's, what's funny is, if you look at it, GTA is almost like you're an organized criminal in real life. I could only get on that game for about a day before they start catching on that I have too much money, and then I have to get off. I have to go launder my money in this game, so people won't know I have all this money. I have to buy big businesses.
Hilarious.
It's weird because now that I'm thinking about it, like, I had multi-billion dollars, and all these businesses are coming up, and I'm buying them so they know that I'm not glitching this money.
I can't.
And then at the same time, I'm just in this game like, damn, I have everything. What else am I gonna do?
Oh my god.
And I'm probably a bad example, considering that it's my son. But I'm always like, dude, mod this, mod that, go get this, do this glitch and get this money, or look what I figured out, and like I'll give it to him. Like, I'm such a bad example because I'm just like, let's see if we can do it. But part of that comes back to my cybersecurity education.
That is so great.
I'm like, let's see if we can break the game.
Yeah, I would say
if we can do
this
it.
man was learning how to be an actual criminal. It's hilarious. I need to launder this money.
I'm Italian, so somewhere along the line we've had mafia. I'm just spreading it to the next generation.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
hilarious.
Is it your fault that you accidentally fell into all this money and now you're being punished for it?
I'm just saying, that's the whole thing. Think about it: selling drugs, beating hookers.
I was gonna say it's an organized crime-based game, and people don't want you to.
And now we're being punished for.
That is a good point, though.
For committing the crime.
Like, it is their fault that these loopholes are getting exposed. People are able to take advantage of them. So can you really ban them for that, or not unless they have it in their terms of service?
The way it works,
I would say no.
I say no unless you have it in your terms of service. But go ahead. Sorry, Panda.
I was gonna say the way it works for Rockstar is because I believe they do have it in their terms of service, and it's because if you look at it, and I've done the math, I think $100 real, like cash money, that you put into Grand Theft Auto is worth $8 billion in game.
Holy crap, dude. All right.
If you think about it, if you're hacking this game that's already running off of this economy where it's expecting you to spend money, you're really taking money from this company.
You're actually robbing the company. So I do get that.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
For me, glitches are challenges.
Yes.
And okay, so
very cool.
It's been years, so I think we're outside of the
statute of limitations.
Yes,
the statute of limitations.
So, all right, Microsoft, I don't care. Come at me.
Oh no.
The original Xbox.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh so yeah, it should be way out of.
I was communications in the Army, and I learned a lot about computers. And I had friends that knew even more than me, so it was even more awesome. But we discovered that the original Splinter Cell game, which I had, because I'm big on buying things at launch and then backlogging them. The original Splinter Cell had a Linux exploit in the game on the disc.
Okay.
And if you knew how, you could exploit that, and you could mod your Xbox on a soft mod. So instead of getting a chip, opening it up, doing it that way, you could use this original Splinter Cell disc and use the Linux on it as an exploit to soft mod your original Xbox, which came back out in 2001. So come at me, bro. So, and that's what me and my friends did. Like, that was a challenge to us. And to this day, I mean, I love the original Xbox because I could be playing Tiger Woods Golf, listening to my own soundtrack, doing all sorts of cool stuff. But I can also play Super Mario World. I can play Sonic the Hedgehog and all this other stuff. So to me, it's like it's like a challenge.
So you kind of jailbroke your Xbox.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
You know, for me, stuff like that was a challenge. Like, I don't do it I haven't done any mods on any of my consoles since then. But that was a particular challenge that I wanted to do, because Microsoft had the most powerful console of all time with the original Xbox.
Right
but
on.
the potential wasn't there until you unlocked it.
Yeah.
So for me, that was like the challenge. And just like back in the day, you know, I know y'all have to have it too, but I have pages like this folded up in old cases. Like, I'll open these cases and I'll be like, oh my god, look at these cheat codes, you know. Yes. or like this, like, you know, this, I got a gamer journal. I make my own notes about all my games. Older games. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think now it's all just muscle memory. I'll pick up a controller and play Grand Theft Auto and just input it real quick, and if it works, it works.
Exactly. And suddenly you're just like, what did I just put in? Oh yeah, I remember this. You kind of go like on autopilot, but I miss those days of the challenge. I miss those days of trying to find codes or trying to find secrets and all this other stuff. If developers could figure out how to do that and like sprinkle in some lower priced microtransactions, I bet you they would make a killing.
Right on.
For me, it's a challenge, and if I can get something for nothing and then get a little extra for that money, I'm more likely to do it. But if you come out with a game and you're just like, here's my $70 game, and for $20 you can get this, and then you'll get one piece of armor, one axe, one gun, you know, then I'm not gonna do it.
Right on.
You know?
Just real quick, let's get a list. We're gonna look at Twitter real quick. This is the list of microtransactions in the game. So I had to ask. So what's going on with Dragon's Dogma? And we had No Sig. He responded back saying this is what we're looking at. And so Dragon's Dogma Explorer's camping kit, $2. It's and all of this racks up to $41 for everything. That's in some of these stuff. It's like restore, you know, get restore dead to life. One of these was at least I heard it was talked about. It was a oh my goodness, fast travel. They monetized fast travel.
What?
Yeah, and it was the explanation from Capcom was that they want people to explore on foot or use a bike to, you know, explore their world. So they made it, you know,
a viable thing.
Well, yeah. They tried to emphasize, I guess, walking around instead of fast traveling.
Well, for me, like with fast travel, okay, so Horizon Zero Dawn. I'll always talk about Horizon. It's my favorite. But the thing in the first game was that you could fast travel, but you had to basically like earn in game and get money, and then you bought these fast travels.
Yeah.
So you had to use them sparingly, and then eventually, as you get closer to the end of the game, you get to like this final destination in the city that you're supposed to be in. And when you're there, there's still so much to do, but you can buy like this unlimited fast travel pack.
Very cool.
And stuff like that. So like I think like instead of putting a literal price tag on it, they could have done something like that.
An in-game price tag.
Yes, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, after looking at this, I would say like the first 8 looks like pre-order edition stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, like the rest, like for the fast travel, I get it. You want. That's another thing is, are you afraid that the consumer's not gonna enjoy their game because they're not playing it the right way? You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, that was coming from Capcom. They wanted to, you know, freaking make it more appealing to walk through their world or bike through their world instead of, you know, using fast travel, but
I mean, look
put it
at
behind, you know, pay for it. Why?
Skyrim is freaking huge. And,
Yeah.
you know, if you're really gonna walk through that whole map, you're gonna be a dedicated, you know,
Yeah.
son of a gun. But
exactly,
like, you have no kids.
Like,
you have no wife.
I tried one time, and it's like, oh, I'm just gonna walk that way. And then the longer I played, I was like, screw this. You know, I still got half another map to go. It's like, how am I gonna?
You're like halfway through, you're just like, dude, I'm so done with this.
Yeah.
But you know, that's another thing. Like, you'll get players like me who are just like, I have to do this mission, and this mission, and I'm gonna fast travel the heck out of it. But I'm also one of those like, okay, come on, I've seen gameplay of Resident Evil before I play a game. Sometimes I am still walking all around, checking nooks and crannies that I know I didn't see anything in that gameplay video of somebody that I'm supporting, you know, and I'm still going to go over there because I have to know for sure for myself. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like, I might get bit in the face, but it's worth it.
Exactly. So, like, you know, I bought Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 remakes when they came out. And no lie, like, I'm playing them now. That's how big my backlog was. Good Lord. So, okay. You know, that's why I'm recording them and putting them up now, because we all know I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. Like, you know, that was my modern gaming kickoff, was PlayStation 1 with Resident Evil 2. But I'm going to explore every nook and cranny. Like, I was playing yesterday, and my son's already beat it because I finally got him into the games. And I get to a part where I'm like, oh, this is by the parking garage for Raccoon Police Station. I said, you know, let me go down here, because when I was in Resident Evil 2, when I came out of the parking garage, there was like a green herb over here. So my kid's like, there's nothing down there, don't go down there. And I'm like, okay. And so I go anyway. I'm exploring around, and suddenly I'm like, look at this case that you missed that I totally found because you didn't want to walk around. Yeah. You know what I mean? So for me, like, I want to fast travel, but I'm also still going to go back. And explore these worlds if the game is worth it. Right on. Like Panda said, like, is the game worth it?
Yeah. Like, being a trophy hunter too, you know, you get your task to do it. So no matter what you do, you'll eventually hit it, especially if you, like I said, there's different ways. You play the game you want, you play the game they want, and then you could do a mix of both, right? I play the game, get my feel of it, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start getting some trophies. Look at my list of accomplishments that I gotta do. Oh, I can do that in a, you know, an hour, 2 hour span of me just doing this. So, yeah, I want to say there is no need for this. I mean, Mortal Kombat did the easy fatality. I don't know if they still have it on MK1, but you know, it's why defeat the purpose of you know, being good at the game to do a fatality to, like, I got easy fatality. I just push one button, I kill you at the end.
I know, which is fun. It's not cool. And like, that reminds me, like, my daughter was on spring break last week, right? Maybe the week before. I'm losing track of stuff. Right on. But she was just like, you know, because my profile is on her PlayStation as well at her house. And I was like, you can hop on there and y'all can play MK1 if you want, so that y'all have the newer game. And of course, she's hanging out with a bunch of guys that are like, oh, we're totally going to destroy you, because some guys still think girls can't be good gamers. Well, because of all that, she was like, no, I'm going to play MK11 because, you know, I know this, I know the fatalities, I know the brutalities, and I know the friendships. So instead of playing a new game, because they did something like that, she played the last game. So I feel like a lot of players are probably going to do that as well. Like, you know, I'm not sure. Microtransactions are great and stuff like that, but you still want to have the core of the game that made it what it was. You know?
And the options. You want the option to earn it, not just have to buy it. You know, exactly. Then you're going into, you know, conversations like, well, why does this game cost $70 if you're gonna make me pay all this money in game? But we have one more here, and this was a comment. I want to say it was in Steam, and it says, "Hey Capcom, you can purchase a good review DLC for $1.99."
That was a good one.
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, freaking final thoughts on that one.
I think my thought on it is, if you support the game, you enjoy the game, you know, you have microtransactions to support the game, right? Another one is don't use it to amp up your game.
Right.
Example, Call of Duty, they released 3, and everybody was saying it's just pretty much a DLC pack. I haven't bought it yet, but I bought Call of Duty 2, $70. And with the little bit of microtransactions that I did, I want to say maybe a little over $200 altogether, right? So I paid $70, added another $130 for stuff I wanted to get, right? So now I bought essentially a $200 game, right?
Yeah.
And now you're releasing a so-called new game that people are saying could have been worth $20, and for another $70 price line. Plus, they're still doing microtransactions, so you're gonna put another $200-300 for a game that wasn't completed, could have been DLC to where you could just, exactly like you guys said, unlock it over time, or just add it on because, you know, they make so much money, Activision.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you could go towards like, yeah, Fortnite kind of does the whole, you know, you don't buy it, you lose it, but their game is getting better every year, right? If you compare it to when it started to where it is now, it's gone better animation, better graphics, better, you know, more collabs with people that you didn't expect. But it's like, you're making something that people want, right? You're making something people enjoy.
Yeah.
Why not do it like that? Don't make it to where your microtransaction that you're spending is going to support my gaming industry because I didn't make a good enough game a year ago. It's like, no, the whole point of a microtransaction is to support the company to make the game better in the future, not because it came out like shit. I want to say a prime example was Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront, the new one that just came out, where it was behind a paywall, where the game was decent, but it wasn't top tier.
Yeah.
But they were saying that the microtransactions was supposed to make it better. It's like, no, like you lock Darth Vader behind a $200 paywall, or I have to grind 3,000 hours to unlock him. It's like, that's not the way to do it. It's
no.
Like, it's like, if you're able do it the right way, don't do it to where you want money. But you know, companies, it's always the easy buck, right? If they could make $200 off one skin and then make a shitty game, you know, it's gonna happen.
Diablo online.
And the other problem is that the gamers that are willing to pay for it create that, oh, well, we're getting away with it, so let's see what else we can do, and then it just keeps the vicious cycle going. So
I got a buddy that does that. He says he enjoys the game, but every time I talk to him, he's like, oh, this game sucks, this and that, but I have this cool skin. It's like, why have the cool skin if you don't even play the game, right? It's like
hilarious. This game sucks, but I got this cool skin. Check
like,
it out.
The way I tell my kids is, I tell them, if I win one match in Fortnite, maybe I'll buy a skin just to support the game, you know, to improve it, to make it better. Like the game is actively getting updated every 2 weeks, which is cool, right? You're funding these creators to keep going. If you look at it that way, you're not funding something that, I mean, Fortnite already is a cash cow, but you're still providing that income for these guys to, like, you know what? Let's keep updating this game. Let's keep doing a story. Let's keep doing this. Let's keep doing that. Hey, we got money. Let's go ahead and put One Piece. Let's put Naruto. Let's put, like, you know, all these characters that they're funding for all these companies to join on, you know, making them bigger, right? You know, they put Alan Wake. I didn't know who Alan Wake was. I played Fortnite. I was like, all right, let me look this guy up. You know, oh man, now, you know, now people are playing Alan Wake 1, Alan Wake 2. You know, they slowly branch out some way. But again, at the same time, you're using these small microtransactions to spread the word and not hide it, right? You can easily go the Call of Duty way, and it's more money for us because we want it, or you could do it's more money for us so we could distribute it along everybody.
Yeah. And to your point, Panda, I don't want the challenge to be insurmountable to be able to get the skin or the upgrade or whatever. I want it to be challenging, not insurmountable. So it's turning people away from actually playing through the game to grind and get it, and just vying for paying for it. Making the microtransaction more appealing. Give it an even keel. Somebody who doesn't feel like they want to can buy it. Someone who feels like they want to will buy it. You know what I mean? But with all that being said, go for it, Panda. Sorry.
I was gonna add on to that, right? You're playing, for example, Dragon's Dogma. I know it's gonna be online for co-op, but you're paying to enjoy the game, to enjoy the story. You're not paying to level up and go through the whole game. It goes back to, I'd rather glitch the game to hide my level up and then enjoy the game, as a high-ranking officer, one-shotting everybody. But at the same time, I'm still enjoying the game. You know what I mean? I didn't spend $300 to have this mystical armor of no death. You know what I mean? At least I earned my armor by glitching. I jacked it from that guy, but I'm still playing the game. You know what I mean?
Right on.
Yeah, for real. And I can understand what you're saying about Fortnite. Like, I don't mind giving my kid money for V-Bucks per se. If he goes overboard with it, he'll be like, I want all the things. But for me, hilarious. Buying the season pass, it helps because he gets V-Bucks, he gets this and that, and it encourages him to play. And it's helping develop it, maintain it, keeping it online, keeping special events like concerts in the game coming. And
I think that's
like
super
that.
cool.
And like Panda said, it's bringing attention to other games, which is opening up other companies for more opportunity.
And we'll be talking about Remedy later on too.
Yeah, so I love that. That doesn't bother me. It's the getting a half-finished game, and instead of being able to earn things in game, I have to spend a ton of money in order to get it. That's what bothers me,
It brings up that meme. I don't know if you guys seen it, where it's like the guy's walking through the game and it's like, pay $25 to unlock this area, and it's like, no, we don't want that.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's what I'm afraid is going to happen. The more people are just like, oh yeah, $25 for this, yeah, sure. I spent $70 to buy this game, and then you're going to give me this. Oh, well, you can unlock this area for $25.99, and you'll get this, and this. Like, no, thank you.
Right on.
Just finish the game and then release it.
All right, let's get into the comments real quick. Just so everyone knows, we've got Gamer and Panda. How to get a hold of them? Lower third. Take a look at that and visit their YouTubes and their X's. They're on both of those platforms. Show them some love. All right, so we got Lord Beerus in here. Oh gosh. Yeah. We got Fox King, Gamer King, and Panda Strong. Right on. I the only reason I said oh gosh is because I thought I had cut it off somewhere. I was like, oh no. It's taking a left turn again. But no. Lord Beerus again. If anything is involving gargoyles, then Gamer Geek is the otaku that knows everything gargoyles. Right on.
I love that show.
It is amazing. I grew up with that show, and I think I did a video on why it failed, and it was because of the OJ trial that was going on at the time, and it was kind of Disney's redheaded stepchild because it was dark for kids, and so but what really killed it was Power Rangers and the OJ Simpson trial that was going on. So that it took eyes off of the show, and they just weren't able to recover.
I was like, maybe like 11 or 12 when OJ happened. Maybe I could have been younger or older. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I was at my grandparents' house for the summer, and I swear, like, that's all I watched was the OJ trial, because my grandma was like, "No, we're watching it. We need to know what happens." And
That's
I'm like,
hilarious.
"Why though?" Like, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I didn't get to watch anything. I had to watch the trial.
I'm sorry. Lord Beerus again. The 1980s Thundercats is goated. Not the reboots the Cartoon Network did. Thundercats. Ho! Sword of Omens. Give me sight beyond sight. Yes. So, okay. What was that one? It was the goofy looking one. The goofy looking reboot that they did.
They did have a really crazy looking one, but I can't remember the name of it.
I think it was Thundercats Ho. They tried to do teen like a variation of Teen Titans Go, but for Thundercats. Now, Teen Titans Go was awesome. Thundercats Ho, not so much. But I did like they tried to do a grittier kind of reboot to it, and I liked that. I want to say it came out in 2011, if I'm not mistaken, and I liked it. It got canceled while we were going through it, but I kind of liked that one. It was pretty good. But like you said, the 1980s one is goated. That one is goated.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, very much so. Like that was awesome.
Oh yeah.
If I see like a reboot or anything like that, I don't even like to look at the characters, and I'm not even gonna check it out. So
yeah. It
keep
gets pretty
keep that in mind, whoever remakes Thundercats.
Another one from Lord Beers. Gargoyles should go dark, mature, and gritty like the Brandon Lee Crow movie. Okay, so I can't remember the name of this movie, but it had there was a kid that was telling stories to a witch that was about to cook him up and eat him, and one of those stories was a gargoyle story. And this gargoyle, this guy was making like a deal, back alley deal, and this gargoyle came through, killed all the associates, and left him alive as long as he didn't speak about it, right? And so he runs away, never speaks about it, but he's an artist, so like the figures, the way it looks comes out in his art and his sculptures. And he gets married, has a couple kids, and then he decides to confide in his wife. And when he tells the wife, she starts turning into the gargoyle. And then, his kids walk out, they're gargoyles now, and she kills him and, flies off with her 2 kids or whatever.
Oh my goodness.
It was pretty cool. Now, what I say all that to say this, I don't want it to go into that territory.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's like, I like gritty. I like, the blood. I'm not, freaking hands off to that or anything like that, but let's not go like super gory or anything like that, or
we don't want it too dark.
Right, not too dark. That's probably the perfect way to put that.
Don't traumatize us.
Dude,
you should be able to tell your wife anything.
Yeah, I know.
She's like, I just married you to see, and you failed.
Yeah, yeah. All these years, they were married for years, and he finally confided in her, and hey, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna make you pay for that. Just like freaking killed the guy and then flew off. Oh gosh. Okay, another one from Lord Beers. Panda has a great point about stretching the story into multiple season story arcs. Yes, 100%. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Panda has great ideas. All the time, so.
Yeah.
I keep telling my buddy that I need to start carrying a notebook, because there's times where I'll text Mark and I go, hey, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
And he's like, where'd you see that? I was like, in my head.
Yeah. I actually started keeping a notebook next to my bed, because
right on. Yeah.
I at the end of the day, that's where I am, like chilling, watching TV, playing video games and stuff. And like, I've got a website I have to start doing more with, because I lost a little bit of focus, but like I'll get article ideas or this or that, or I'll just have an idea for like an art piece that I want to do or something. So definitely get one of those little pocket notebooks, Panda, because who knows?
Yeah,
you could make the next GOAT movie or series.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you don't know what screenwriter, screen producer can pick you up pretty quick.
Exactly. a good idea, like sometimes that's all it takes, and then they'll grab good writers and help you flush that out. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, freaking. And then I mean, with the technology we have, you don't even need anybody to, you know, bankroll you. Freaking, you can just do it all yourself, honestly, nowadays. We've got another one from Lord Beerus. Since you mentioned about the new Bond and maybe it being a prequel, I know they're doing a Training Day prequel with Alonzo, and there's talks about another Equalizer movie with it being a prequel, maybe. Right on. That seems to be the industry trend right now. Prequels. They're getting away from the, what do you call it? Not just Marvel, but just the superhero genre. And prequels seem to be kind of taking the lead right now, because I mean, they have to have it attached to some kind of popular IP for it to, you know, because you know, they want it, they need something, they need some kind of safety net for these movies coming out now. But a prequel for Training Day, a lot of people love that movie. And The Equalizer, that is a decent franchise. I've only seen the first one. I've saw portions of the second one, and I've yet to get into the third one. But the first one, so good, so darn good.
And I think prequels is safer for them than reboot.
Yes,
because some movies should not be touched.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm looking at you, whoever redid The Crow.
Yeah. we don't know how that one's gonna turn out.
I don't know how it's gonna turn out. He's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, but
one of the Skarsgårds.
Number one, Brandon Lee gave his life for that movie.
Like, yeah, literally. Yeah.
And I feel like it's a little disrespectful in my opinion to redo it, but I'm a little nervous about that. And you know, like they remade Footloose years ago, and like I was so mad because somebody showed my kid the remake of Footloose and didn't show him the original, man. And I was like, excuse me, that's not how we do things in this house. Like, you can watch a reboot all you want, but you got to see the original too.
Yes. It's freaking what's that movie? It's about the vampires. It was like in the 80s. It was so
Lost Boys.
Yes. They redid that, and it was so bad. Lost Boys is a classic. Okay.
Yes, it is.
You can't just go off willy-nilly rebooting that or remaking that movie.
Yeah.
You've got to, and to your point, you know, about The Crow, you've got to respect that IP, you know? And it seems like they don't. Yeah. They don't respect it.
It really does, doesn't it? Like I'm very nervous about it, and I don't know how I feel about it right now. Yeah. Like, I'm really nervous.
It's like, you're right? You got to get the studio's blessing. They had to have some way to get it, right? And same, it's like you don't want to touch something that has been worked with. I mean, it's the same thing with actors, right? When they get that new role for that one person. I mean, for example, Heath Ledger with the Joker, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to touch the Joker, and then when they did, it's like, nope. Never gonna be better. Never gonna be better.
Yeah.
He did phenomenal.
He did. Yeah.
Like, I didn't mind Jared Leto's Joker. I know a lot of people hated it, but to me, he was that manipulative, crazy, obsessed person that he was in the comic books. Like Jared Leto did like a really good job with that. But nobody's gonna beat Ledger, in my opinion.
What killed me about the the one from Suicide Squad was that he had like an urban kind of feel to him. Like he had the chains, didn't he? And walking around shirtless everywhere, tattoos everywhere.
He had a grill.
It's like this dude grew up in a black neighborhood. It's like, what's going on here? Like,
the girl kind of freaked me out. I was just like, who thought of this? Like,
it's absolutely hilarious. It's like, okay, but yeah, sure, go for it. But as far as acting, you know, I think he did a really good job as far as acting. I think the direction was FUBAR, the direction they wanted to go with them. But
I agree.
I like Jared Leto as an actor. I think he's really good.
Yeah, he is. But
yeah.
So prequels, I can kind of. You're not messing with something that's established, classic, and loved. So I'm more likely to give that a chance and have an open mind than I am a reboot, because I'm afraid you're going to mess it up.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at it, right? A prequel could be like, it's a start. So even if the movie's bad, he gets better. He gets better, guys.
Yeah.
I've seen the first one.
Yeah. It doesn't touch any of the established canon that we already have. We're just adding on to it. Right,
I think it's crazy the way Star Wars made their movies, right? They had to have some kind of like broad imagination of how far they're going to extend it and, hit all these futuristics and then come back to the past, then go back to the future. And it's, you have to have a big creative mind to do that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what other movie has done that, but I think it probably would never top that kind of like creativity to where even in like the old, where they're talking, it's like, oh, you knew my father, and he's talking about Darth Vader, and you know how he turns out in the future, and it's like, damn, you would have to think about like what to say to get these people captivated. Like, we're eventually gonna see this bad guy, and the older people that seen that part, it's like he described them to be so evil, so manipulative, and then when you see him in the movie years later, you're like, damn, they were right, or he was, and this, and I think it's amazing that
killed all those young Jedi. That definitely
oh my God,
established.
That one got me.
Yeah, that definitely establishes this man is pure evil, pure evil. But to the point though of the Crow reboot, they said they are going more towards from the comics than they are from the Brandon Lee movie. So I will give them that. I mean, it's not much, but I'll give them that. It's like, okay, but again, still, Brandon Lee.
As long as they do it justice.
Right.
But...
All right, so another one from Lord Beerus. Gamer Geek wants a cut of the profits from these movie ideas, huh? She is not Don Fanucci, but good try. Fanucci, I love it. All right, another one. Beerus, people are too accepting and enabling these greedy microtransactions. 100% agree. You need to boycott this greed. Save your money and shop that bargain bin or holiday overstock sales. No more transactions. That's a good way. Whenever Best Buy came out and said that they were going to stop selling Xbox games in store, I want to say it was Walmart. Xbox or Walmart, or Xbox, Best Buy or Walmart said that they were going to stop selling physical games. And I made a video about that, saying that if you are a fan of physical games, you need to not buy online at all ever again. You need to go in store to buy these games to, signal to these big companies, hey, there's still a big portion of this community that still like physical games. So, just to reiterate, kind of building on the point that Lord Beerus just made, if you are a fan of physical media, you cannot buy, digital anymore. you buy buy physical and digital. But if you don't have $140 to spend, you need to go in store and buy them, to a brick and mortar store and buy those.
I'm big on places like GameStop because you get your coupons, you get your X amount off if you're a pro member, and you get the points. Like I had like $20 in rewards. Don't get me started. They took them all away, and I had to have a fight with GameStop. But they did their best to make it right, and I'm more likely to shop there because I can earn money on it.
Yeah.
And then I can get this, with PlayStation, I get the stars thing, so I can earn enough points and then eventually trade it in for like a PlayStation card.
Yeah.
And I have Sony rewards, so I can do that. So, like for DLC stuff like that, I love doing that because I could just, the DLC is all digital anyway, so I can just hop on there and grab it, and it ends up being free because I've done this task or this task, and I've earned that. So
Yeah.
I do enjoy that on PlayStation, but I like to go most of the time I'm either at Target or GameStop buying my games or my accessories and stuff like that. Like I think maybe like twice I bought off of Amazon, like one controller and
Yeah.
like maybe one or two games, and that's over like the last 20 years.
Sheesh. Okay. Holy
Yeah.
moly.
So I'm all about going in person to the store, because then I have games at the store to get.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's hilarious. Freaking we've got another one from J Bug, and for anyone wondering, J Bug just made another video announcing his triumphant return. So if you want to take a look, it's at the top on our channel. But he writes, thank you. Hold on, wait. They make so much money, LOL, but at some point we gotta stop. This is 100% true.
it's true.
Freaking
And it's hard. You're gonna have to get those people that are so addicted to just buying these microtransactions
yeah.
to stop.
Well,
Because
there's already court cases where they're saying, microtransactions are pretty much like gambling, right? People
yes,
spend money to receive an item, even though they know what they're getting. It's still almost a gambling habit. I mean,
Yeah.
you got CS:GO that does their crate openings, and
Mhm.
you got to buy a crate, you got to buy a key, and then if the skin is good, you could sell it for more money, and then that's already gambling right there. And
yep. They actually have an article about how the microtransactions and the loot boxes are actually encouraging gambling in minors,
Mhm. Yeah.
and it's essentially programming their
Mhm.
brain in a gambling manner. And it's
Yep.
the same with mobile games.
Mhm.
Like
Oh yeah, they're the worst with it.
gamification has gotten really bad
Yep.
with the mobile industry. But I'm constantly like, my ex is still on my family plan
Mhm.
for Apple,
Yeah.
and I'll always get, okay, where do you want me to send the money for my game? And I'm just like, didn't you buy something 2 days ago? Like,
Like, calm down, buddy. Jeez.
Yeah. So I'm constant, because I'm the head of the family on Apple, so
Mhm.
it's all going to come off of my credit card.
Yeah.
But the bad part about that is now I know how much you're spending on these games. So,
Right on.
but man, like I'll be looking at it and I'm like, no wonder you were short on grocery money this week, bro. Like, stop it.
That's funny. This is putting the man on blast right here on in front of everybody. I love it.
Hey, I'm sweet and I have never taken a dime of child support.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put you on blast for your gaming habits.
Right.
You would do the same to me.
All right, another from Lord Beers. I'm calling it now. This continual greed will lead to consumers getting angry and companies getting greedier, and boom, we will get another game industry crash. Or at minimum, we will get a strike.
I
Yes.
think a strike's gonna come quicker.
Oh yeah, but the
Especially
industry
with
crash.
all the layoffs.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable for the industry crash though. They don't seem to
I
be
agree.
changing directions in the way that they're going. They're going to lead to an industry crash. I think the massive amounts of layoffs that we're seeing is only the tip of the iceberg, especially since they're spending so much money on AAA games. There are, industries. There are studios that are, have a modest amount that they're spending to make games, good games. But like, the industry leaders, they are, freaking Warner Bros. Spending $250 or more on Suicide Squad. Freaking Spider-Man 350, and with the information that we had that Sony, they are making a massive amount of money from these games, but they also have a massive amount of overhead, so they're making minimal profit from the amount that they're spending. So something's got to give with the industry, and I don't think they're going to make the changes fast enough. So I think an industry crash is coming. But go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I absolutely agree, because you see that the same mistakes are still being made.
Yeah.
let's hurry up and buy this studio so that this company can't do it. The console wars are killing gaming.
Yeah.
At this point, Nintendo's just over there like, I'm still doing my own thing, bro. I don't care what. Like we've got enough, and we have like 30-year-old established franchises. So y'all do your thing over there, but we're good. But it just seems like, and I'm not trashing Xbox, but Xbox has been like barely treading water this whole time, trying not to drown.
Yes.
I hate to say they made zero profit on the original Xbox.
Oof.
Like Bill Gates ate that loss himself. But he was determined to come up with something better and continue and break into the gaming market, and then came to 360. Well, one, my kid was an infant, so I couldn't really play. And two, the red ring of death pissed me off. And so even though I was able to open it up, take the chip off and do some magic and make it better, like I was still that irritated that I sold it. And then I was ready for Xbox One. And when I found out you had to have internet constantly, I was just like, I'm just going PlayStation for now. It's cool. Like I can say, hey, Xbox, turn on my TV and my surround sound and all this other stuff. Like, great, but I also have remotes.
That whole generation of console is fascinating to see, like the what they did right and what they did wrong. It was absolutely fascinating. It was super cool.
Well, I mean, we have an Xbox One now, but at launch I didn't get an Xbox One. I went PlayStation 4.
Right on.
Because I don't like the fact that you basically almost always had to have an internet connection of some sort for something. I don't play a lot of online games. I have PlayStation Plus because I want to, because of the discounts, because of the perks, because of the free online games that I can try. Or digital games really that I can try. So that's why I have PlayStation Plus, not so that I can hop on and game with people. But with most of it, Xbox stuff, you pretty much have to have an Xbox Live for like anything. And I didn't like that, so I always go PlayStation.
Right on. Freaking we got another one from J Bug. Nah, I don't see that happening yet. I think he's responding to Lord Beerus. We have too many little kids playing big games that can ask their parents to buy everything. Well, with the market that we're in, as far as the disposable income that the parents have, the answer is going to be no a lot of that time. So
more often than not, right?
So I guess it's not a one tier kind of it has multiple angles to this, so kids are the ones that are basically keeping Epic afloat at this point. I mean afloat, I mean they're making tons of money, but if a kid has to go and ask for a skin from his parents or her parents, freaking the answer is going to be no, because they got to buy eggs for $6. You know what I mean? So we got to take a look at the not just the gaming industry, but how people are doing, how gamers are doing overall. If they have to pay more money for utilities, the money that they're going to have for I guess the creature comfort stuff is going to go down, so while so while I think J Bug his head's in the right place on that, I do think because of the more money we have to pay for groceries and utilities, things that we need to survive, I think that's it's going to bring on a crash of the gaming industry a lot sooner. Couple that with the amount that they're paying to make these AAA games,
like for me 3 years ago, I was more likely to buy Tristan like Game Pass and V-Bucks and all this other stuff a lot more often, because well, one, like I'm a disabled veteran and I don't work anymore.
Right.
But at that point, I was still able to without like a whole lot of pain and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
But right now, I've really got to watch it. Like I'm on a fixed income.
Yeah.
So I don't have the overtime coming in every once in a while or a bonus or anything else anymore.
Right.
So there's also the $6 for eggs, the $6.50 for milk.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I'm about to boycott that. Like, I will drink soda. Like, I will pour orange juice in my cereal. Like, it's insane.
That's
like,
worse than water.
It really is.
Like,
I'm just trying to make the point about how bad it is.
No, I know.
Expensive. I really wouldn't do that, guys, unless y'all, like pay me a microtransaction.
Yeah, or like back in the day, you eat your cereal with a fork instead of a spoon. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I still have to do that.
Right
I'm a 15-year-old that doesn't know how to put the spoons back in the.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I still do that now.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so nowadays we're a lot less likely as parents to do our own microtransaction or just let our kids have it. But then you've got those other ones that are letting the video games raise their children. And they're just like, well, it's going to keep you out of the way, and we're making a decent amount of money, so I'm just going to keep giving you this. So I see where he's coming from.
Yeah. So. And we've got another one from J-Book, but I do see the strike happening as well. But not the. I think he meant the crash. Oh yeah, he went on to say I meant not the crash. Okay, right on. And then. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything.
The glitch was great, yes.
J-Book says, me too, that glitch was great. Oh, J-Book, he is the Xbox guy. He's the resident Xbox guy. And I got to tell you, like, I'm leaning towards getting the Game Pass because of J-Book. J-Book, he's a great salesman, just in general. We have
Game Pass, and I can tell you, it is worth it. Like, I mean, especially like come May, I'm getting Hellblade 2 without having to pay for it because we got Game Pass.
That's crazy good.
So suckers.
Oh yeah, we did talk about this last week about Hellblade. Maybe it's gonna have a timed exclusivity. That's what I assume that they're gonna do. I don't think it's gonna hit any other platform day one, but the rumor is that it will eventually come to PlayStation. So I'm gonna wait and get it on PlayStation. I'm not really getting Game Pass right now because, like I said, strapped for cash, and we have more than enough subscription services right now that we're paying into.
Well, I'm lucky because Tristan, my ex gives Tristan a weekly allowance.
Cool.
And so that covers his Game Pass, and I
Very
just
cool.
do it. So.
Right on.
But he's got to earn his stuff. Like he has chores here to do, and then he'll get extras. And if he's not doing his chores or anything like that, my ex won't send the money. It'll be, well, you want me to send it to you instead of putting it on his thing? And I'm like, like I'll save it for when he's earned it.
Right on.
So at least it's not just handing him all this money to do whatever he wants with.
Right.
But that was the agreement. Like, I bought him the Series S for Christmas, and he got the 3 months of Game Pass. So that was the agreement, was like, you're gonna pay for it with this, or you're gonna do this and then we'll pay for it. So that's how that went. But even if I bought it on disc or digital or whatever, like, I would still get the PlayStation version.
Cool. Right on. Okay.
They're, games that are worth it, like, and they're on both platforms, I usually buy too.
Yeah. Right on. Freaking, we got another one from Lord Beers, and I 100% agree with that. Don't incriminate yourself, geek. FBI, don't listen to her. She's just acting.
That's right. And my cousin that's in the CIA,
I was about to say, elaborate on that. Where do you go with that one? Right on.
Protect me.
John DVZ, what's up, man? We got
John.
Yeah. With Elden Ring and Gate 3, the Dragon Dogma 2 will be hit hard by people saying this. is not that good, and then ask what is really new or different to any other game to make it unique. Yes, and yes, they do have a high bar to get over, because Baldur's Gate, they stood firm. They are the industry standard now. Well, not industry standard, but they are the cool kids in the industry,
Yes.
because they did so good. Day one, not broken game.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they didn't have any microtransactions in their game. As far as I know, I haven't seen anyone.
That I don't know about,
yeah.
They've got such a good enchanting world. Like, it's still so relevant now as it was on launch and gaining popularity.
Yep.
I think the only bad thing that I heard from them is that they're not going to make a Baldur's Gate 4.
Right. I think it's because a lot of that, not a lot, but because they're using Hasbro characters or the Hasbro world, they have to give money to Hasbro, so they're gonna, cut their losses with that. As far as like the news that's been coming out on that,
which I can get. It's just sad for like players that get so invested in a franchise and stuff like that, for it to suddenly go away. Kind of like they're talking about The Last of Us will probably have a third one, and that type of game I don't think you can really continue too far with.
No,
because of the specific people.
Yeah.
But like, for something like Baldur's Gate and everything, like there's so much material and it can keep going.
That's
so
right.
It just gets kind of sad, that players aren't going to get to enjoy anything after this.
Yeah.
So
100%. Another one from Lord Beers. Gamer Geek is like a gaming version of Velma Dinkley. Jinkies, she smells a clue. That's good stuff.
Velma?
It's
really?
the glasses. It's the glasses that sells it, There you go.
Really?
Oh no, where are my glasses? Okay.
It's because I'm a nerd, huh?
Yeah.
And I've got glasses. I'm gonna have to wear a turtleneck next week.
Orange. Make sure it's orange though. It's gotta be orange. All right, J-Bug.
Let's see what I can do.
Wait, Dragon's Dogma will be co-op online in the future? I think that one's for you, Panda.
It might be. They've been talking about it since Dragon's Dogma 1, but
right on.
I don't know. I think they'll just say it for now, and then who knows? Like, that's what I was expecting for Dragon Dogma 1 to be co-op online, but it never happened. So who knows? Maybe they have the resources now, or who knows? Maybe all these microtransactions that they have will help them out.
Right on. Another one from John DBZ. When games ask for you to pay for anything, it's okay if the company is small, but things like Diablo and South Park, I'm like, no thanks. Why the heck should I pay 30 for a hat and 40 for dumb outfits? 100%. And yes, like if like Stray, if they came out with different color casts and things like that, I would definitely pay for that, because it was a small it was kind of an indie game, you know what I mean?
It was an indie game.
Yeah.
It was actually, I can't remember if it was like started as like a school project type thing or not.
It was two devs that wanted to make a game about cats, about their cats. I think they own they cat people, and they made a cat game.
Yeah. Well, like straight up, that's like cozy game meets challenge.
Yeah.
Straight up, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. I mean,
you're a cat
I get
person.
to go. Yeah,
well,
I get to go and like
person.
scratch on stuff like a cat would, and I get to rub up against things and purr, and then I get to fight these, as a cat, I get to fight these little robot things. Like, that's pretty awesome.
Right on.
But the cool thing about them is that they also took those profits and put them to shelters.
Very cool. Yeah.
So that it can help animals, and that was like mad respect. Like, I think I bought like 2 copies of Stray.
Dang.
And
yes.
And FYI, you can change the color of the cats.
Oh, right on. Okay.
For free.
I haven't played. Well, if they lock that behind a paywall, I wouldn't mind playing it. But
I wouldn't either, because I don't see them being like, okay, well, you can get a black cat for the low price of $6.99, and then you can get this calico for $8.99. Like, I feel like they'd be like, here's a skin pack for $3.99.
Yeah.
Or $2.99.
And Stray is actually on my backlog. I gotta get that game. I haven't been. I wanted to play it.
It's worth it.
Right on.
It's worth it. It's actually really cool. It's like this futuristic steampunk like setting.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, because it starts out and you're in your pack, and then you end up in this world below. Yeah. That you didn't know was there, and you'll have to kind of like maneuver and collect and fight your way through as this cat, and it's really cool.
Okay. So. Yeah, no, I'm going to get that game. It's just I haven't been able to. It's got a lot. The Alan Wake, freaking Prince of Persia, Spider-Man 2. I'm playing through that one right now. It's just so much I got to get through. We've got about 4 more, including this one from John DBZ. We'll get through those and then we'll get into our next article. John DBZ, if it was a big DLC like Cult of the Lamb and God of War, then I'm fine with that. Just don't ask me to pay for dumb stuff. And what I love is that God of War, the DLC for that was free. you know?
That was our Christmas present from Sony and Santa Monica. So. Yeah,
and I thought it was fantastic. It kind of came full circle with Kratos' past and him moving on with the future that he has in the Norse realm. I thought that was fantastic. I thought it was great because he's no longer the angry youngster that he was. He's trying to reconcile his past, and I thought they did it in a very heartfelt way. Freaking, it almost brought me to tears. It was that good.
Yeah.
And then we have J-Bug. The reboot of Matilda was terrible. Okay.
They did a reboot of Matilda?
They did, and my kids love it. My kids love that movie. I thought it was too shiny, I think. I don't know what it is about it, but it felt too shiny. Like the Matilda, the original that they were, you know, adapting from, I thought that one had a lot more grime to it. It was like, it felt more real, I guess. I don't know. A girl using telekinetic powers feel more real, but it felt like I don't know, it felt better. The new one, it felt too shiny, but it was also like a musical too, so I gotta give that to him. John DBZ, Gamer Geek is just like me with movies. It's going to be very interesting to see Beetlejuice. Oh my god, I saw the trailer for that. Looks good.
I can't wait for Beetlejuice too. Like I'm geeking out about it. I'm like, oh
yeah. Oh, in the future they are thinking about remaking Little Shop of Horrors, which made me laugh, dude. Okay, that doesn't need so if they reboot that, it's got to be a Matilda. Because it is a musical, and they've got to do right by this. I don't know. I will give it a chance, but I'm not too confident in the Little Shop of Horrors being rebooted. But Beetlejuice, I can't wait to see that one.
Little Shop of Horrors is a cult classic.
Yeah.
And when you start touching cult classics, it starts to get pretty hard. And it's
what goes back to
till I'm dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it goes back to remembering those actors, right? Mm-hmm. You remember them being in that movie, so it's kind of like it's hard. I mean, Beetlejuice has I keep forgetting his name.
Michael Keaton.
Keaton
as Beetlejuice. So of course people are gonna enjoy that because he's reprising his role for Beetlejuice. So you got to think about it. I get it's gonna be a reboot or a remake, but
I think it's a continuation. They're just they're adding on to the story, and
that would be nice, right? Because then I keep forgetting that guy's name. The main actor from like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids will be in it as well, probably.
Rick Moranis.
Yes.
And actually, the main reason I'm against them rebooting it and putting someone else in his character's role is because Rick Moranis actually lost his wife.
Yeah, and he had to take care of his kids by himself.
He left Hollywood in order to raise his children, and I feel like it's kind of disrespectful to change the mark he made on the world. It's like, at least with Ghostbusters, when they redid it and they brought back Zool and all that other stuff, yeah, it was all new, but it was a continuation and a redo of this is what happened. So it was like a reboot, but also a sequel and continuation. And I think if they do it in that type of way, it's at least respectful.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. We'll see what I think of. Yeah.
Right on. Lord Beerus, a cat game sounds like a meowton of fun. Must be a positively phenomenal game. With the puns, coming in with the puns. Love it. And J-Bug.
He does a lot of cat puns because I have like 50 billion cats here. So yeah, we're always cat punning away.
Yeah. And then J-Bug, LOL, it was a musical. That's what did it for me. I love the grim and realistic stuff. Right on. Okay. We've got the comments all done. Thank you guys for commenting, by the way. We love going through them. It gives us so much more to talk about. We can kind of branch out into like different kind of tangents. It's so much fun. But the second one we're gonna get into is the PlayStation VR 2 and how it's not doing very well. They've actually stopped making more consoles for, or I guess, what is this? Headsets? They've stopped making more headsets.
Peripherals, I think is what it's called.
Right on. They've stopped making more of the PSVR 2 because they have a pile up of inventory that's not selling. And with them getting rid of like Fire Sprite in their London location, PlayStation, the games that, Fire Sprite, I want to say they did Mountain.
Call of the Mountain.
Call of the Mountain. Yes. And that was a VR game. And, with them saying, kicking Fire Sprite to the curb, we know that they're not going to be part of building that Rolodex of games for them. So we've got Sony is coming from The Verge. The reporter behind it is John Porter. I like to try to get the reporters and things like that to give them credit. I didn't do it on the first one. Sorry about that. But let's get into the article real quick. All right. So this one's coming from The Verge. After producing in excess of 2 million units of its latest virtual reality headset, Bloomberg is reporting that Sony is hitting pause on production to try and shift its unsold inventory. The PlayStation VR 2 launched last February for $549, and if you know, that is more than the console. That is crazy. Absolutely nuts. As an accessory for the PlayStation 5. And with that verbiage, that you have to have a PlayStation 5 for this thing to work. It's pretty brutal. So you can't even, yes, the Portal is the same kind of thing. You got to have a PlayStation 5, but you can at least go into another room being, literally tethered to your PlayStation 5. Bloomberg suggests that the problem is a lack of content for the headset. The PSVR 2 is compatible with a handful of AAA games, including Horizon Call of the Mountain, Gran Turismo 7, and entries in the Resident Evil series. As far as I can tell, all of those titles have been very well received, as well as a range of smaller titles. But at $549, the headset costs more than the PS5 itself, so expectations are high. Bloomberg notes that the Meta and Apple have faced similar content challenges with their own headsets. I would say that the difference between them, their focus is not on games, where the PSVR 2 they are.
It's strictly games, basically.
Yeah.
The PSVR 2 is, in my opinion, I'm seeing it like a repeat of the Vita. Great hardware, a lot of potential.
Yeah.
It's not getting the games.
Yeah.
Like with the Vita, instead of sticking with the UMD format, they decided to switch over to cartridges. And basically, developers, one, they didn't feel like making these games for portable, but they also, like, it was more expensive and more of an investment to go to those cartridges. So the Vita failed. And while PSVR 2 is a phenomenal like headset, a peripheral. There's nothing on it to warrant the price.
Yeah. Right.
I think literally the only game I saw was Call of the Mountain, and that was it when I was reading about the PSVR 2, and I was like, I'll get it just for that, because I'll like probably die of a heart attack trying to play Resident Evil VR. So you know, there's just not a whole lot on it. And yes, it's very, very expensive, and we're going back to the fact that we have no money.
Yes.
we are all struggling just to afford groceries and gas, and it's just like, come on, guys. Like, I get the technology, I get the work that you've put into it, but I'm not buying a VR headset for more than my console. Yeah. Unless it's something like the Apple one. Like, I can watch TV on that. I can do my computer. I can add like extra screens. Yeah. I'm still not buying one. You know. It's like $3,500. I would be more willing. Exactly. So until I start making that YouTube famous money, that's not gonna happen. So AKA never. Yeah. But yeah, like there's no way that without a good solid lineup of games and without a price reduction, I'm not touching that headset ever.
Yeah, right on.
So they need to. At first, I thought they were just going to discontinue it and give up on it like they did the Vita. And I was really mad, and I was like, they better support it. I went on a rant on X/Twitter, you know, and because I just saw it and reacted instead of researching like I normally do. Right. But you know, I found out later that it wasn't that they're giving up on it; it's that they're pausing production so that they can try to, you know, get sales done, and that's fine. Shift that production over to the portal, because apparently people love that, and there's none. You know, it's facing the same problem that the PS5 did. So I think Sony, you need to work on your inventory, your production, your supply demand,
and what's funny, they're not even having issues with chip or just getting the
I know
requirements to make it. You know, I don't know what the holdup is.
I don't either. The issue now is the Pro is coming out the end of the year.
Yeah. And a lot of people are questioning if we even need a Pro. Like, we don't have a lot of games on the original on the PlayStation 5 console right now. So why do we need a Pro? You know what I mean? It's like, work on games. Stop making consoles right now. You know?
Well, I've never been one for the Pro console. I'm either gonna, you know, like with the PS4, like I just got a bigger terabyte PS4 when the Pro came out, because it dropped the prices of the regular PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
So then I had a 500 and a 1 terabyte chilling. And I gave the 500 to my kid until he did something stupid, and then I sold it. He was just like, "You sold my PlayStation?" I was like, "Correction, I sold my second PlayStation." And now you no longer have access to it. Hilarious. And this is, you know, he was like, "Well, why didn't you just, you know, take it away for a while?" That wasn't good enough for you. Like, yeah. Like, he skipped school during the Fortnite black hole. Yeah. And I got a call in the afternoon asking me if Tristan was feeling okay, and so I'm like an hour away from him freaking out and angry. Yeah. So I sold it. Yeah. And I told him, and now he knows that if he messes up really bad, his consoles are getting sold.
Yeah. Don't skip school, kids. Don't do that.
That's right.
If you have a mom like Gamer over here, she will sell her second PlayStation 4. It's like what's really funny is, like, I try to, like, whenever I'm talking to my kids, you know, I try not to say, you know, hey, you know, put down my remote, or stop jumping on my couch, or whatever, right? It's the remote, the couch. But it's like, I don't want them to get it twisted. You don't own any of this. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want them to get it twisted.
He'll do that now that I've got the PlayStation 5. He'll be like, you know, my PS4, and I'll be like, our PS4.
You go. Yeah.
I've shifted it to where things are ours now.
Yeah.
Because he understands
it'll
at his age. He
yeah,
understands. I've bought everything here.
yeah,
Don't mess with me or I'll
yeah,
sell it.
yeah, yeah. Hey man.
That reminds me of that. It's we comrade meme.
Right on. And just to finish this out, in an attempt to increase the amount of content available for its headset, Sony recently announced that it's testing PC support, offering the ability for PSVR 2 players to access additional games on PC. It's currently unclear how widespread the headset support for PC titles might be, but support is planned for later this year.
I think with that, we have the Oculus now. I think it came out during a wrong time. I mean, a bad release. You know, I want to say the VR2 came out during the release of the Oculus 3, and you've seen that one where it's pretty much like the Vision, right? You could see what you're doing. You could have multi-screens. You can, watch a video. I think the ad that I've seen was going back to my whole what the week was been through. This guy's fixing his engine and he has the Oculus 3 on.
Yeah.
And he's looking at it, and then he looks over to the right and there's a how-to video of what he's doing.
That's dope.
And he pushes play and then he goes back to what he's doing, pushes pause. And I'm
great.
Like, damn, if I want to pay $600-700, I'd rather just buy the Oculus 3 that's another $100 more.
Yeah.
And still get, PC capability on it.
Right on, man. It's like, yeah.
You're 100% right. Yeah. I would do the same.
So it's sad to see that they took a shot and it's not paying off for them. But this is definitely, like it mentioned in the article, is opening them up to putting their stuff on more platforms. The wider the pond, the more fish you are capable of getting. If you keep that stuff just in a small pond of your PlayStation players, you're going to get the same fish. But if you open it up to more platforms, to a bigger pond, you are going to get more fish to be interested, or you're going to catch more fish. But hopefully this helps in this exclusivity battle that we're going through right now. Hopefully exclusives become less and less relevant so we can get more games, and the more games, the better for the consumer.
I know I need help at Helldivers, you guys.
That petition.
You imagine though, like if they did with Helldivers and Call of Duty, if they did like Capcom does with Resident Evil, where they give you like a VR version later, like, and it doesn't cost a ton or sometimes even anything.
Yeah.
Could you just imagine like how many more people would play that? Like,
oh, it's crazy. Absolutely.
I think I'd have to like bungee cord myself to something so I didn't run into anything. But have a bucket because I'm a female, so I'll likely get sick from it easier than males do.
My gosh.
Like I just need a bucket, a treadmill, some bungee cords. It'd be like Ready Player One.
That's so funny. Like I picture you having like one of those things for horses attached to your face, and you've been able to just go at it. It's like, okay, we're good. Press pause, change the bag out.
Exactly, and that's what I would do. Did you see that Disney like made this mat, like it's an Omni mat,
I've seen that. Yeah, it's supposed to be like.
Yeah.
That's freaking. You might need to look it up because if the way we're explaining it, it's just gonna be crazy.
Yeah, but it's essentially like rollers, and so like they're tubes and they'll go one way and then you can turn, but they'll roll another way as well. It's really interesting looking, but it's basically created it where it's like a treadmill without being a treadmill. Yeah,
you walk in place pretty much.
Yeah.
And it detects the way you're gonna walk, so it starts rolling the way you are, and it calculates your speed and your distance. And I think right now it's the walking phase, right? I think they haven't done like running yet. So
they're doing the walking phase, but I'll tell you one thing: it saved people like me from walking into a door.
and I believe like Gamer Geek was saying it's gonna be implemented at Disney parks first.
Yes.
And now they're saying that maybe game developers might get into it just because I don't know if you guys seen like the setup where people are strapped in and they can act like they're running and playing the game.
It's so crazy. And I read an article that I don't know if they're gonna do it now. It was only a rumor, but just for their VR support, PlayStation was developing a roller system that where you can sit down and kind of move your feet and it rolls or whatever. It looks pretty interesting. I doubt that they're gonna go that route now, especially since the
until VR takes off and it's profitable enough for them, they won't. But I mean, I've seen and I laughed because I'm that person, but I've seen this little kid. He was like, it was I think a TikTok video that I got sent, and he's walking off and he like straight up skydived and face planted like right into the floor right next to the dining room table. And I'm like, as sad as it is and as hurt as he probably got, like at least he did it at that point, because he would have just smashed his face on the table. But stuff like that is hilarious to me because it didn't happen to me. But I would be that person that I'd like suddenly like, have you seen the ones where the wife or the husband will like break their TV?
Yes.
Like VR, like that would be me. So that's why I don't do VR.
All right, here real quick, I do have a picture. So is this what we're talking about right here?
Yes.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah, it looks just like
if you click on it, I think there's a video. Yeah. And it'll show him like walking. And I'm like, that's actually pretty cool because it's not like a treadmill, but it works.
Yeah, like the little pegs lift up just slightly to make you feel like you're moving. It's crazy the way they did it.
It is.
Oh,
right
like,
there.
wow.
Oh.
There it is. Yeah.
It's like moving. Like like you said, the pegs were lifting up.
Ready? Watch.
Oh, get out. Are you kidding me?
And they were smart. They put somebody old on it to prove anybody could do it.
I think he says if he fell, he'll break a hip or something. But
hey, that's not funny.
Dude, I
broke my hip when I was 20. That's so rude.
That is nuts.
But yeah, it's crazy.
Whoa, dude. Just think. Go for it.
If anybody could get hurt on that thing, it would be me.
This is so nuts because the spaces they're walking is so small. Just think if they expanded that out, dude. Yeah, that's crazy.
And like I said, I think they're trying to do it in parks first to see if it works. But I mean, you could obviously see that two people in a span of 5 by 5 square feet, you can easily, and that's the best part right there. It's how it works.
Yeah.
Dang.
Isn't that cool?
Disney.
Yeah. I know. Oh, they even got like a little flat. What?
Yeah. I don't know how.
See, I gotta talk to one of my friends that's a cast member and get that free pass when that thing comes to Disney.
Right on. Okay, so the last one we're gonna get into is Remedy. Somehow they've been able to keep their budgets low for making their games. Alan Wake 2, I want to say, was a little over 50. And when I say a little, it's like an extra $4 million, but for $54 million. And I think a lot of industries should be taking a look at these, how Remedy's doing it, or Alan Wake 2 cost $54 million. Anyway, but granted, their games are like kind of niche right now. I want to say Alan Wake 2 just now, or is getting really close to getting its budget back. They sold 1.3 million units of Alan Wake 2. So they're not by any means blowing anything out of the water, but I still think they should, the industry should be taking a look at what they're doing and how they're keeping their budget so low.
Absolutely, because they made a phenomenal game. Mm-hmm. They had live action actors, mm-hmm. and I'm sorry, but they had big name actors too. Mm-hmm. And you're doing something wrong if you make Spider-Man for like $7 trillion and don't even have a Puerto Rican flag correct when he's on shit. Like,
yeah.
Come on, guys, be better.
I think
check out Remedy.
Yes, and they're doing and from the article we're gonna read, we're gonna Read, Remedy says Alan Wake 2 has recouped most of the investment. Studio plans more regular sequels for Alan Wake and Control. And we know that they're making Alan Wake and Control a universe on its own. And I think that's freaking fantastic. Control came out of nowhere. It was, I took a look at it, didn't know what it was, played it, was blown away. It was amazing. And I haven't played any of the Alan Wake games, but I have played Max Payne. So I know that Remedy knows what they're doing over there, you know. But I'm going to start with Alan Wake 2 and then play Alan Wake later. But the industry should be looking at Remedy and asking, how are you making these beautiful games with keeping your costs so low? And I think we'll run into one of those answers being, you know, CGI, these devs who are making these worlds and things like that. It's really expensive. If they can bring those costs down, I think they'll be in good shape. But you know, Alan Wake, they use their own engine. Maybe that's the answer to this. You know, maybe getting your own engine in-house and being able to make these games. But kind
of like how Resident Evil, like with Capcom, they made the RE engine.
Mm-hmm. I would love to know. Do we know how much the remakes cost Capcom to make?
I'm not sure, but I'll look that up while you continue the
Okay. We'll get into so that one was, we basically went over that. That was a WCCF Tech, Alicio Palumbo, and now we're gonna get into IGN. Okay. And this is Wesley Yin-Pool. I think that's right. Max Payne 1 and 2 remake has same development budget as Alan Wake 2, and that's awesome. So they're going to be smushing 1 and 2 together. And Sam, I want to say his name is Sam over there at Remedy. He said it's a significant undertaking. They're working with Rockstar Games and Take-Two to get this done. So we know it's going to be quality. It's going to look really, really good. And we can tell that from Alan Wake 2. But it's a really big undertaking. I want to say it's coming out next year or the year after that. So we won't have to wait a crazy long time to play this classic. But Remedy Entertainment has discussed its hotly anticipated Max Payne 1 and 2 remake, revealing it has similar development budget to the recently released Alan Wake 2. Remedy is working with Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption company Rockstar under a new publishing agreement to remake the first 2 Max Payne games for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. And that is another feather in their cap. They're bringing it to all platforms, just to disincentivize the exclusivity debate that we're having. Remedy is handling development while Rockstar is fully financing the project. Awesome. The Max Payne remakes are developed on Remedy's Northlight game engine, the same engine used to develop Control and Alan Wake 2. The original Max Payne games were also a result of partnership between Remedy and Rockstar, with Remedy handling development in Rockstar Games publishing. Rockstar went on to develop Max Payne 3. Remedy has yet to reveal the development budget of Max Payne 1 and 2 remake or Alan Wake 2, but they say it's around $54 million. But Finnish analysts estimated Alan Wake 2's total budget at $75 million. So I was $20 million off. That's a big one. So $75 million. Reporting its financial results for the fiscal year, CEO Tero Virtala said Alan Wake 2 has already recouped a significant portion of the investments made by Epic Games Publishing. After selling over 1 million units by the end of 2023, Alan Wake 2, which went on sale on October 27 as a digital-only release across PC via the Epic Games Store, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S, is the fastest-selling Remedy game of all time. As Control proved, a great quality game can have excellent long-tail sales, and we expect this to be the case with Alan Wake 2 as well. So I was way off, but I mean, compare 75 million to 250 or 350 million budget. The point was that they were significantly less than what AAA games are costing these days. But are we looking forward? No thanks, IGN. But are we looking forward to Max Payne 1 and 2, or the reboot?
As long as it doesn't turn out like the San Andreas or the Grand Theft Auto collection, I will be okay.
It's gonna be they're gonna update the graphics and everything like that. They're updating
That
everything.
was bad, and I think Rockstar took control of all that. So I'm glad Take-Two is giving the development for the remake to a different company right away, instead of kind of, you know, taking it upon themselves to try to figure out what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's
I mean,
hilarious.
you got to think about it. Grand Theft Auto or Take-Two has so much stuff on their hands right now that they need to kind of figure out if this is going to be good. Yeah, let a different company take it, let them do their thing, and then bring it back and see if it's good. Don't just, you know, what they did, gave it to a mobile developer and it became just a mobile game on consoles and PC, and people noticed. But
Yeah.
if it has the same budget, I want to say this remake will probably be up to like where it's going to be, you know, standard Dead Space, right? You know, they took a remake, they made it better, and they remastered it. And same story, just better graphics, better engine and everything. So hopefully that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Max Payne 1 to look like Max Payne 3 plus, right? You know, even better.
Yeah. Or Alan Wake and Control, because those games are freaking gorgeous, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, in general, Alan Wake, the first one, looked amazing when it came out. So
right? Yeah.
If you got that same team that did Alan Wake, and I believe Control was a year or two after Alan Wake, so you know, just the way everything. I mean, Control is amazing, right? You got your whole supernatural flying and all this and all that, but
yeah, so cool.
You gotta imagine you're taking all that aspect from these two suspenseful game and action-based game to a hardcore action shooter, you know, slow motion dive. You know what I mean? It's I want to say I'm looking forward to how this is gonna look.
Yeah,
I like the original Max Payne, so as long as they don't butcher it, and like with Resident Evil 4, like they did leave stuff out, so it was still kind of like a standalone game, and they added stuff. But like they did really good. Like that is probably, and Resident Evil 2 is my favorite game. Probably the nostalgia of it. But like they blew me out of the water with Resident Evil 4. Like I played it 3 times in a row immediately when I got it. And I mean, I just loved it that much. Like I immediately went into replays just so I could experience again. So if Max Payne was a classic back then, so they do something really good. And then, you know, but I'm gonna have to wait to see to make sure they didn't butcher it. So.
And
won't be day one, but
and I think the reason why Alan Wake isn't selling like you know Max Payne did back in the day, I think the only reason is because where was I going with that? Oh yeah, it's kind of niche. The kind of they're going into the horror genre. They dip into the horror genre, and that's kind of a niche. It's like
it's horror and psychological thriller. Which psychological thrillers can throw some people, and so they don't necessarily like it. But also another thing is some people are refusing digital. Not very many, but some people are, and it's an all digital game. Like you can't buy a physical copy.
Right on.
So that's one of the reasons I haven't bought it yet. So, but I'm gonna end up having to because I need to play it.
What's going back to how Alone in the Dark is coming back, right? I don't know if you guys seen that.
It came out the other day, actually.
So it's like I've seen good reviews on it. I am not a horror based, you know, gamer. I'll play Resident Evil because, you know, it has its little bit of action.
And Dead Space too.
Anything like psychological horror.
Gosh.
Oh man, I'll creep myself out. I'll get deep in my thoughts.
Dead Space is haunting though. Holy
and I'm
man.
actually really ready for Alone in the Dark, and it might be something that I pick up this weekend. We'll see.
Yeah, you gotta let me know how that one is, because I've seen videos and people playing it already, and it looks good. But
like it looked like it was gonna creep me out, and I've got I don't know if it's because I grew up like as an artist or whatnot, but I mean my imagination will take over. And I mean I'll have like I'll psych myself out.
Yeah.
Like I'm going around the corner, or PlayStation has the 3D audio, so I'll hear something.
Oof.
And I'll be like, where is it? And I'll be like, the camera, like if I didn't edit my videos, y'all would get so sick. Because I'll be like spinning around, where's the zombie? Where's the zombie? And then like I'll find it like down the hall and through a door. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, so
That's
but I'm
hilarious.
worse with like psychological horrors, because I'm like, it could be this or it could be this, or oh my gosh, what if they do that? And
Yeah.
so I'm gonna probably enjoy it as long as they did a good job.
Right on.
So I'll let you guys know if I do pick it up, and then we'll talk about it. But I'm excited for it.
Right on. Okay. So my final thoughts on that one is, I'm glad to see that you can make really good games on a smaller budget. You don't have to go, crazy with it. The only caveat I will say, or in defense of these other games that are going freaking ridiculous, is that Alan Wake, Control, they are different as far as the kind of genre that they're in, so it might be different than making like a Spider-Man game. The technical parts of it is a little different, but I refuse to believe that there is no way to bring these costs down to develop these games. I refuse to believe that.
Yeah, there's a way that they can do it, and
Yeah.
I know it.
Mm-hmm.
I know that with investors pushing for games to come through quicker, they're like, and now that they've fired all these devs, like people are going to be worked to death.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a good thing. I think game quality is going to start to suffer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's absolutely a way to make a really good game, really flashy, and keep it low, because otherwise Remedy wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah.
I can't find the exact cost for Resident Evil 4 Remake, because I don't think Capcom gives the budgets out, but it's suspected to have been about 80 to 100 million.
Okay. See, yeah, that's not bad. That's not
Which
crazy.
isn't bad at all,
Yeah.
considering most of them are 300 and above.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're right. If they would develop their own engine, it would probably work. Like you and I had discussed, I think like a week or two ago, that Unreal Engine is going to start charging like $5,000 a seat once you make over X amount of money. And I mean, I get that, but why now? Unreal Engine 5's been out for what, like 5-6 years?
Yeah.
And everybody's using it, and now you're going to start trying to capitalize from it. Well, now that's going to put more pressure on the industry.
Yes.
And they're going to need to do stuff. So I know a lot of people are like, well, AI could help. Well, you're going to take jobs away and things aren't going to be done right. Like, AI can help a little bit, but you need to do better than just AI to save costs. But one of it would be spend the money in R&D and make your own engine. Yeah.
And to your point too, I'm sorry to interrupt, but when you were talking about that, it just kind of blew me away. When we first started talking about that, I was like, oh, it's only going to affect big companies, but not knowing that cost is going to be passed on to consumers. So that is a great point. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because think about it, like, Stray might have been an indie game, but it sold well. And so if that restriction was put back then, like if you're making over, what was it, like if you hit like 1 million or something, then you have to start paying $5,000 a seat. Well, $5,000 a seat, if I'm taking it correctly, that is per developer's chair that is using Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Well, say you've got a crew of 500. Well, there went my profits.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, think about it. It's ridiculous. So they either need to do it where they are like, okay, so here, get this 3-year license and it will cover X amount of systems, kind of like Windows does with their business, but there's a way to either make their own, buy it from somebody else, something. Like, I'm sure Capcom will sell you RE Engine for X amount of stuff. So, I mean,
yeah. Oh my goodness.
They get plenty of money to make more games.
Yeah. And that's hilarious. Good job.
I'm just saying, take some of these the devs that are coming out of school, a programmer, and get them all working together and make more stuff, and then you can sell it to another company. You know,
Right on.
here you can use this for 5 years to develop your games for the low cost of
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Right on.
So
I would love to see what they like. Let's say if Remedy like kind of opened their engine up to other people, you know, man, I wonder what Spider-Man would have looked like if they would have went that way.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Okay, real quick, let's get into the rest of the comments, and then we'll get out of here. I gotta go make breakfast. Well, I guess it's brunch at this point, but anyway,
we'll quit bugging everybody.
yeah. Lord Beers, speaking of Keaton, I love that little stage skit between Keaton and DeVito and Arnie. Yes, me and Beers actually talked about this at the Oscars, talking about Batman. Keaton's look and taunt was perfectly pseudo Tim Burton Bruce Wayne Batman. Yes. It was great.
Yeah, a lot of people were also talking about how they're always saying Keaton is the best Batman, right? That even the stars acknowledge it, because I believe Mr. Freeze is from the Tim Burton Batman. So
no,
it's
is
not
he?
Yeah,
you
it's
might
not the
be
same.
right.
It's not the same Batman. So they're like, even the stars acknowledge that Michael Keaton is the best Batman out there.
But I know that Clooney was the
Penguin,
one
yeah.
with the
yes. So Penguin is Keaton's Batman, but
it was Batman and Robin.
And it was Val Kilmer had Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones, and then Clooney had Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze and Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy.
Freaking Two-Face and Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. Oh my goodness,
she was my favorite. Dude, that's my favorite one too. But I know those later Batmans because my cousin works on them.
Oh, right on. Oh my gosh, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the director of it was Joel Schumacher for Batman and Robin with Clooney and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Is that her name?
She was. I would have known.
Alicia Silverstone. Sorry, Alicia Silverstone. Yeah. She was.
I was gonna say I would have known it. I would have known if Buffy the Vampire Slayer was there.
Yes.
But yeah, no. Yeah, she played Barbara, right?
Yes. Yep. And Uma Thurman was Poison Ivy. I almost forgot that she was even in that. And I love that they brought Bane into it, because that was the Bane that I knew, and not knowing that Bane from the comic books, he was more sentient. I think it was Hispanic. I didn't know that either.
That's what threw me off in the Rocksteady games, is they specify that he has like a Hispanic accent.
Yeah.
And that's why he wears the mask, because he's a luchador.
Yeah. he used to be in, so that's another reason why he's already got the mask.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right. John DBZ, cult classic. Just look what happened to Rocky Horror Show. That remake was way off next to the older one. Yeah, they in the first one has such iconic songs. What's the the transvestite one? I'm just a dang it here, Rocky.
The transvestite song, it gets me every time.
It's just so
like
good.
I'm a transsexual. Like, it's just so funny. Like, when they remade Rocky Horror Picture Show, they did it for TV, and so it wasn't so bad. They had the original actors in it, but the fact that they got who is it?
Goodness. I have to.
Starts with an L. Something Cox. But she played Frankenfooter.
Oh, right on.
And it came out pretty good. But I was just
it's called Sweet Transvestite. That's what it's called.
Yes. And I remember the first time I went live, my neighbor came over and told my dad, I'm taking the girls to Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Hilarious.
And I was like, there's no way he's going to let us go. But he did. And that was my first taste of it, was live.
Yeah.
With the movie playing behind it. And I was just like,
that's cool.
All right. So, Yeah, I love that song. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Lord Beers, a lot of movies with reboots or revivals sound good on paper, but they just can't deliver and do the franchise justice. Some are good and some not. Hit or miss. Apples and oranges. Look at Child's Play. Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. Yeah.
I did not like the remake of Child's Play, and what was with the look of Chucky?
Yeah. Why did he look all sharp?
Even
sharp.
the TV show, he looks better.
Yeah.
Right now, he's rotting and old.
Yeah, he looked all pointy. Like, what was the deal behind that? I don't know.
Like,
I didn't even go see it.
I saw it looking through some stuff on the streaming. I happened to see the new Child's Play, and like just looking at it, I was just like, nope, and skipped right past it. I didn't even read what it was about. I just saw the picture. Okay, sorry about my camera. My cat decided she needs to scratch herself on my desk.
Nice. Okay.
So it looks like an earthquake.
Yeah.
I apologize.
J Bug, regarding the headsets, what's the best one to get in the panel's opinion? I've heard really good things about Sony's the PlayStation new headset, and then I mean I'm a PlayStation guy, so staying in that ecosystem, it kind of it's pluses in that favor. So, but yeah, I heard the headset for PlayStation, the new PlayStation headsets are really, really good. Even their earbuds I heard were really good too.
I was gonna say, yeah, regarding on what kind of headset, I mean gaming headset or regular headset. I have both. I use both Sonys actually. I have a wired headset just like a Beats, just for chilling and listening to music, but I also use it for the streaming with an adapter, and it works just fine. And with PlayStation having the aux plug-in, it works as well. So going with your comment, most Sony headsets, even if it's not a gaming one, it works pretty well. I'm actually using the earbuds right now for the stream, and it works just fine.
Holy crap.
So I'll just pop one off and listen to what's going on, put one back on, and it goes back to the whole, can't hear anything, just hear yourself, and works. I like it.
Right on.
Yeah,
okay.
Sony, as far as their new gaming headphones and everything that go with the PlayStation, are really, really good. VR wise, if you're just looking at gaming or something like that and not trying to like do everything else, I would say the PS VR 2 is actually really great. They actually did a lot of work on the design and R&D because it's primarily women, because our brains are wired different. But people will get motion sick, or the proper term is simulator sick. Yeah, simulation sickness. And a lot of like training in the military or pilots and stuff will get that. Okay. And you basically, you have to keep doing it to build it up and kind of train your brain.
Gotcha.
But with the PSVR 2, they have worked great strides to make it to where you don't really get sick. I haven't heard that so much on the other ones, but I would probably say if you're looking for something like all around to do multiple things, I would probably go Oculus.
Right on. Okay. So. I like because I've been looking into this when I heard about the price of the PSVR 2. I was looking at the MetaQuest 2 and 3, and I'm not gonna lie, the 2 looks like it has that sweet spot. It's just new enough where it has some of those really good things, like being able to if I'm not mistaken, you're able to see outside and interact with the apps on it, but it's old enough where its price is reasonable. Not saying that the MetaQuest 3 isn't reasonably priced, but it is more expensive. You're looking at $400 to $500 for that. So, which
is true. The reason that I stay with Meta is because while I have Facebook, I have my two sons here actually don't have Facebook. Yeah. And so I also have a little bit of trust issues with social media. Yeah. Having ties to my game stuff. Yeah. Because they're targeted a lot more. Yeah. So while I agree with you on MetaQuest, that's something that I think players need to also look into, like who's providing the service, what is in it, what are security things going on, what are the reviews saying, and as far as reviews go, I mean, I'm not just talking, what does IGN say and all that other stuff. I'm talking about talk to gamers, like kind of how you're doing with us now. I can't use the VR because it's taken me so long just to be able to play through games for more than 30 minutes that I am too scared to try the VR. But if it comes to one of my kids wanting something, I'm probably going to buy him the Oculus.
Okay. Here. Okay, so I'm looking this up. I think we're saying the same thing. I think, is the Oculus the Quest? Are they the same thing?
I believe so.
Okay.
Aren't they?
I'm looking at it and it seems
I think it's like Quest 2 or the Meta Quest 2 or the Oculus.
Yeah, you've got
2.
Quest 2 and 3.
Gotcha.
Maybe it is. Maybe
I was gonna say, I think it was rebranded to the Quest because Facebook bought it.
Yes.
Okay,
you're right.
Gotcha,
it used to be something different, but now it's not.
Yeah, I think it used to be called Oculus. That's what it used to be called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think they bought it out.
Right on. Okay. Right on. All right.
I don't know. If I was rich, I'd be getting that Apple VR one anyway.
Yes, because that
sitting
one
sitting on my couch, like, yes.
Yeah, and then having that freaky face looking out,
Well, and also it would be nice to like have like 6 screens open because I'm constantly doing so much.
Yeah.
And be able to have my MacBook, my phone, my iPad. Like I got Apple everything, so it would go really well with the stuff I have. Right
on, man. You can't say Apple hasn't built up their ecosystem like a freaking boss. All right, J Book, good point, Beerus. On paper, reboots sound good, but they implement them in the wrong way. A good reboot was Evil Dead. I didn't catch that one. I need to catch that one too.
That one creeped me the heck out.
Yeah,
they went more horror instead of
it did. Yeah,
right on.
And it really got me right from the beginning because I'm Catholic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I was like, oh my gosh, Saint Benedict medals, run for your life! Like, don't go in there. Like I ruined like the first half of the movie for everybody because I was freaking out. I was like, don't do it, demons!
Right on. Yeah, demons freak me out too, especially like if we're talking about possession. Holy crap, dude! You
should have seen me watch The Nun. I almost cried. Like,
right on. J-Bug, LOL, nah peeps, I told my kids that this is my house and I'm renting you one of my rooms, so don't get mad and say get out of my room because it's not yours. LOL, I'm terrible, but they understand now. Right on. I mean, yeah, they should, for sure, but it's just... And then Lord Beer says, excellent point, Bug. I think he's talking about the remakes. I could be wrong. But Lord Beer, J-Bug, I think you have the right idea. Establish boundaries and let them know that you're taking care of them and they're privileged to stay in your house. It's a good way to teach responsibility, in my opinion. 100%, yes. My kids are getting to that age now where we can start, especially my 10-year-old. He's getting to the age now where he kind of gets that stuff can be taken away. J-Book, thanks, Beers. LOL. I just don't want to think they run the house or anything like that. What I say goes. Yes. Lord Beerus, that's the way it should be, Boog. You're the boss and they need to learn the pecking order in life. Yes.
That's right. I'm at that unfortunate age where my kid is now 15 and like the dynamic changed really fast.
Yeah.
And he's also a mini me.
Yeah.
So like, but especially because kids like to show off. So like, I had a friend on chat last night and so we got a little mouthy and I had to mute and scare him because apparently like I use my drill sergeant voice.
Yeah.
But I think it's more the crazy eyes that really get him. So, but yeah, like I'll give a certain amount of leeway because he is getting to that age. How else is he going to learn how to like moderate himself or like hold back or what's appropriate? But it'll get to that point where he kind of pops off and I have to get all scary, like, like this is not happening. Like, Who do you think you are? Are you man? You want to go to the front yard? We'll throw some. You got
We'll
catch these
scratch some
hands.
gravel.
That's right. So like it changes really fast between like like even at 14, like I noticed like there was this super sudden like switch, and I was just like, oh, I wasn't prepared.
I'm not looking forward to that.
I believe that. Yes, my son was all innocent and all, and then right when he hit like 13, 14, he's like, "Hey, Dad." I'm like, "Whoa."
I know. Like one night, like our house is like long, not wide.
Yeah.
And so my living room is at the very front of the house, and my room is at the very back.
Mm-hmm.
And so he it was later, but he was like, he didn't want to like yell through the house, so he called me, and I get this, "Hey, Mom," and I was like,
I'm in the house.
Who's this? Like, yeah, it was seriously scary. Like, I was like, who is this man calling me from my son's telephone?
Yeah.
It scared me. I was just like, when did your voice change?
Not looking forward to that either. Oh, because he has the cute little kid voice right now, Not looking forward to that.
I know. I started watching all these videos, and I was just like, oh, you used to sound so cute.
Yeah, right on. Lord Beerus, I saw something online where unofficial estimates are saying between 100 and 200 million for the Resident Evil 4 remake. If it's getting to that 200 mark, they're teetering on the industry standard, the AAA standard. But 100 million, I think, is a good freaking sweet spot of you're able to sell your game, make a ton of money off of it. 300 million, not unless you're a Spider-Man, you're not making that money back. you just aren't, But Lord Beerus, Mr. Freeze was Joel Schumacher, Batman, not Burton. Right on. It took us a while. We got to it. Lord Beerus, great conversation, everyone. And that includes panel and audience. Yes, you're all awesome folks. 100%. Same goes to you, Lord Beerus, John DBZ. You guys are freaking mint. J Bug, yeah, you're like a literal part of the panel. You'll be showing up soon enough. But yes, 100%. I agree with you, Lord Beerus. And last one, Gamer Geek has more Apple than Mott's. Oh, the Apple producer. Yeah. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Beerus. I swear.
Yeah, I know.
And to touch on that 1 to 200 million, I mean, honestly, that's okay for them because they've made like 90 million. Stop. I'm sorry, guys. This one's responsible.
Oh, look at that face, though.
She's so mad at me because I picked her up.
Yeah.
How dare you touch me when I didn't give you permission?
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I was looking at something that said they made like 940 million back already, and then it was like another one for like this year so far. It was like 273 million. So I mean, even if they did spend 100 or 200 million on production, like they more than made that back.
Yeah.
So if you can do that, then yes, absolutely, it doesn't matter if you don't do 1 to 200 million. But I think the real sweet spot would be between 100, like you said, and maybe 150.
Yeah.
But I do think that they need to either come up with like agreements or develop their own engines. Yeah. And I guarantee you that's why Capcom's cost is so low, because they developed the RE engine for Resident Evil 7.
Very cool. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I mean that sweet spot. It has some wide ranging effects, right? 150, you get to make that money back. You get to pay your devs well, and you don't have to charge an arm and a leg to your consumers. You know what I mean? It all kind of goes. It's a circle. It's circular. If they have to pay more in their development, that means that they're paying their devs more, or they're doing a lot of overtime or whatever, and then they're it's costing us an arm and a leg. You know what I mean? So if they can bring that down, I think it makes everyone happy. But Any other any last farewell, I guess, thoughts? Any last thoughts?
That I'm really hungry.
Me too.
I would say, yeah, it's about that time for some.
Yes.
I was afraid that, you know, my mic picks up everything, and I'm like, oh, my stomach just growled. Did they hear that? Like,
Oh no, you're good. No, I didn't hear that.
But no, like I think it was a really great panel today. We hit like a lot of stuff, but just like games going all digital, never being able to buy physical ones again and risking losing them.
Yeah.
Y'all stop spending $20 on a microtransaction.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. We're looking at everyone that played the Diablo game, the mobile, because that was absolutely ridiculous. You know, and I mean, you know, definitely got to look at these companies spending so much and feeling like they have to either greedily make more money or, you know, recoup the cost of that it took to make the game. You know, whatever the case may be, a real reevaluation needs to be made. As simple as that.
I feel like you get more value for the money with Fortnite, but I understand more spending money on that because I didn't spend $70 to buy your game. And you are constantly changing it. You are constantly developing. And, you know, we're seeing this evolution of it constantly. And it hasn't just been like dead stop, you're stuck here. Or anything like that. Like, I mean, you get mini concerts.
Yeah, that's, you know, that's like, super cool, dude. I gotta say,
man, right? Like I don't play Fortnite, and even I'm like, when is it?
Exactly.
And I'll like run out there and watch, you know. And you know, like I got out my popcorn and everything like that. You know? It's awesome, but that the money from those microtransactions is making this stuff happen. And it's paying everybody, and it's doing this and that. So, like, sometimes I'll complain about the cost of stuff with Fortnite, but you're constantly getting something. You know, the only thing that I hate is that there's so many skins and so many, like, you know, like, you don't need to update your item shop that dang much. And you could give us a little bit of a break because us parents is broke.
Real quick. So Lord Beerus says gamer here, do I still have it? No, never mind. Give me 1 second. He says gamer, I swear too. Gamer Geek got though, and then this last one he says Geek just wants to save money to spend on Taylor Swift. You know, I
mean, I do.
Yeah.
And video games. It's tailored video games, you guys. Like, my kid doesn't have a college fund. I spend it on the Eras Tour concert. Right
on. All right. So anyone, thank you for popping in. Lord Beers, John DBZ, J Boog. And if you didn't even, if you're watching, didn't leave a comment, we really appreciate you. If you want to get in touch with, get a hold of Panda or Gamer, we have this the lower third at the bottom. It has their YouTube and their X. Get a hold of them, make requests, all kinds of stuff. We really appreciate it.
And yes, we do have a request that we were given the other day, and we're gonna look into that and see what we can do with it. So like we said, we do get it, and we are going to do something with it. It's just that it might take a little time. So definitely hit one of us up. We all three talk through the week. So
right on. All right, Pent, do you have any last thoughts?
I think we covered a lot of stuff today, so I think we should be all right.
Okay.
Like you guys were saying, if you guys got anything else that we might have missed, let us know. We're always there to jump the gun and get everything going for you guys. So I think we do pretty well.
Absolutely.
Right on. All right. Well, you guys, I'll talk to you guys. I guess backstage. Backstage, off camera conversation. Off camera.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for having me, Fox. And it was great being with you this week, Panda. You have been missed.
Yes.
I know. So much stress.
Oh, my God. All right. Right on. So we covered a bunch of stuff. Super fun conversation today. Thank you guys for stopping by. If you have any requests or anything like that, please hit any one of us up on our X or leave it in the comments in the YouTube. We definitely take a look at those. They're all in the description also. So, and just because I didn't promote it at all, I did write a book. You can find that in the description also. But until next Saturday, keep it casual. Peace.